You already know what this is, man. It's Chill on the Green Box with Specs Thompson and The View. And once again, my co-host, he's not here. He was here at first, but I guess kind of took too long. If you been teenager here to go do some homework, school's back in. But hey, I go hold down like always. But anyway, thanks Lewis for eventually finally coming on to the show.
Not a problem. Who's the co-host? The dude in the ninja mask I be seeing
Yeah, The View,
running
man.
around?
Yeah, The View.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
man. That's a
right.
that's a t-shirt mask, man. See, you see
It's a
Ninja Man.
t-shirt ninja mask.
Yeah, so
Okay.
so do I
All
got any,
right.
any paperwork over here? Nah, so like apparently you never read my book. But so you think regular teenagers, right? They're not gonna wear that superhero leotard under their, outfit, right? Cause
Yeah.
I mean, so I just thought about it, when I was growing up. I don't know how old you is, but we used to wear our basketball shorts under our pants.
Okay.
So I remember how that
Yeah,
felt,
yeah.
So I was like, man, no teenager about wearing no Spider-Man outfit, underneath their clothes.
Nah.
So on the View, he's just, something happens, or he just takes his shirt off and he ties around his head as for his mask. Quick, easy, simple. When he
And he's
done,
just
he can
out.
put and when he done, he can take it back on, put it back on. Nobody would know nothing. Easy.
Yeah.
But
It's a funny story. I'm in Colorado. I be doing
mhm,
wild shit up in the mountains. I just bought a wetsuit.
mhm,
Them they hot. So all that stuff you see in the movies when they be putting on them how you saw Spider-Man's first outfit and it was a wetsuit
mhm.
and he was running around in it. Them things are so hot, bro. That
It
is
was New
so
York.
unrealistic.
It was New York though, so it might be realistic.
Bro, I live in Colorado and I was getting in the river and the river is 40 below. I mean like 40 degrees like cold
Mhm.
water because it's up in the mountains with the sno. So that's what you wear the suits for. Them suits are hot. Like I
Dang.
don't even think it's realistic. Like they have different sizes, but yeah, bro, them super suits ain't realistic for superheroes. So I get your concept. Like I
Yeah,
just
yeah.
get your concept in reality, because yeah, being a superhero is I understand.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, thanks for coming on, man. For folks who don't know who you is, man, give them a brief little synopsis of who you is.
So my name is Lewis Brown. I go by Brown Hornet. I actually copyrighted Brown Hornet from Fat Albert, the cartoon, and turned it to Brown Hornet Omniverse so it could be in comic book format. So I am the first person with a published format of Brown Hornet in the comic book like scene. Interesting enough, people were like, "You can't do that. You're not Bill Cosby." I'm like, "Bro, do you really want Bill Cosby to draw the book? Like, do you really want Bill Cosby to be out here writing?
I
Like,
don't know.
really? Is that what?"
I don't know. It might be dope.
I don't know. It might be dope. I don't know.
Little joke. uh,
Nah, I got the pun. I got it. But nah, that's I'm an artist. Right. I do everything. I do every process, and I don't think enough people give credit to individuals in the comic book making process. I think writers get a lot of the shine in the independent scene. Um, Man, colorists and their connectivity with just artists alone, that's just like a whole chemistry that's really difficult to merge. And the colorists make the books sometimes. Like I don't read black and white comic books, for instance, like Walking Dead was super popular. Never picked it up because I'm like, they didn't finish the book. Like, and that's just my bougie preference of how I like comic books. When I want to visually look at them, I want to see the done version because I'm gonna be imagining what it's like in color because I'm an artist. So I just, don't think there's enough credit given to the actual steps and the whole process of what comic books were, from being the penciler to the inker. And then, there used to be superstar artists back in the days like Todd McFarlane, and they're like who they are right now and stuff. But you don't see that these days too much anymore. It's like the game has been changed. And I don't know how it's been changed, but it's not the same, as far as giving credit to those who really put the whole book together. And I do give credit to the writers because I'm a writer too, but it's a family process. Like there's nothing done by itself. And I see a lot of times where I'll hop in conversations where even like Rodney Barnes will post a pic and I'm like, yo, is that Kanan White's art? because I want to get the artist credit. You know what I'm saying? I'm that dude. Like that's who I am.
We'll get into it more later on the show, but this show got different segments, because I'm based you in Colorado, so you might have these, you might not. The electrical green boxes, y'all have that in front of the house.
Yeah, we got them. We
So
go. It's a hood out here, actually. You
okay,
know,
so you used to chill on green box back in the day, then, right?
we didn't sit on them because, like, I heard a couple guests say we thought they was radioactive, bro. You was trying to get superpowers out there. It sound like where you was, bro. Like you sitting
I
on
got a shirt.
like, he was on the box chilling. Like we chilled on the box though. I ain't gonna front. We did actually chill on the green box. We was posted up there. We'd have our little smoke sessions, freestyle sessions, all that. The normal stuff you see in the hood. So I ain't gonna front. I have chilled on the green box, yes.
Yeah,
I didn't
but
chill too long though. Like when I was leaning my elbow on there, I was like, bruh.
a little warm.
Oh no. Yeah, exactly. It's warm, bruh. And it's just like, yeah, I don't know. But yeah,
Uh,
we did that.
it's funny, in newer subdivisions or newer places around here, they still got the same green boxes, but they got two different streams. So they got a plastic one now. I know that's sketchy.
That one
Then they
sounds
got
safe.
then they got these huge ones. It has to be like 10 by 11, like they're huge.
Y'all ain't
So
sitting on them. You gotta climb up them.
gotta climb up them guys. But yeah, that's funny though. But since you are familiar with it, and you broke it down to the people who are listening, what they are. The first segment is called Breaking It Down. And of course, you did some breaking it down while you was chilling the greenbacks back in the day. And this segment we're gonna break your brain down so people know more about you. So you ready?
Okay. Yeah.
All right. So how do you unwind after a long day of work?
Man, I smoke a blunt. I'm not one of those people that's candy because I live in Colorado. Like that's the whole thing. People think Colorado is skiing stuff, and it's like we the first people that kind of getting weed going. There's a whole hood out here. Like so, I unwind doing the normal stuff every people do. I drink, have a beer, unwind. If I'm trying to get some art done, I try to not do any of that. If I'm on a work schedule, which I'm not right now, I just kind of grind it out till the next day at work. Like I'm one of those people that is addicted to making it, and I see work as a form of, I hate to say this word, but mental slavery, not physical slavery anymore. But it's like as a whole generation, if you got something creative to do, it's gonna take away that time. So it takes away from your mental energy. It takes away from all that. So when I get off work, I definitely unwind, let my mind settle, and then I hop right into art and then start working again. I really don't have a time when I'm not working. Comic
Okay,
books
okay.
is work to me, but it's
I
my
get it.
job. You know what I'm saying? I'm working for me for once that part of the day.
Bringing back to the weed thing you just said, being in Colorado. Did you smoke weed like 15 years ago before it was legal?
Yeah, man. I mean,
Because I want
it
to know, did you see a change in the weed from the illegal weed to the legal weed?
nah. Well, see, the thing is, we have white people here, so they was already making Kind Bud magazines and
Oh,
all those
okay.
magazines that they were coming out here and between California and here, even though it wasn't legal, all the white people were making money off of it. And even now in the industry here, I have a badge, but I've worked in the industry, but we're not the ones making the money right now. You get what I'm saying? So
Hmm.
like as far as the quality, it's been oversaturated where like if you don't know what spots to go to, you're gonna get some rushed, chemically processed stuff versus if you know where to go where it's all natural. Like they grew it back in the days when it was illegal because people was taking their time in their basements and not really rushing about 10,000 customers, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, the quality's changed, but not if you know where to go, etc. And there was good stuff always here, but then we did have that seed stuff too back in the days. Like we had that, but we had all the good stuff like way before it spread out to everybody else.
Okay. Uh, so I know you smoke or whatever. So, what is your favorite food combination?
Ah, gumbo, because it's all the combinations. Like
All
you
right.
get, you know what I'm saying? It's that's exactly what it is. It's a melting pot of food. So I
No, you're not.
say
No,
gumbo with a little cornbread.
you said gumbo. So what's one ingredient that has to be in gumbo to make gumbo?
Uh, there's a lot of different
It's
styles
a,
of way people
uh,
make gumbo, bro. Like
it's
so,
one ingredient that makes a gumbo. Do you know it?
I I do seafood gumbo with sausage, bro. So I do all the ingredients. So like I have to have it all from the okra.
Okra. That's
Like
all you had to say. That's all you had to say. Okra.
okay, okay,
Okra makes a gumbo.
okay. I agree. I
Cause
agree.
I can't think of the language, but gumbo actually means okra.
Okay, that makes
So
sense.
if it doesn't have okra in it, it's not gumbo. It's some
Jambalaya.
something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I know.
It's crazy. I never knew that, but doing research, I'm like, man, that one element is crazy.
So my whole family is from Louisiana and Alabama. So like even though I'm from Colorado, it's like all the food origin and where I eat, how I ate growing up, all that's down south. So yeah, I hear you. Okra for sure.
Alright. So you said okra. So you said gumbo and cornbread, huh?
Yeah.
What you using that Jiffy or using that some cornmeal or something?
Honestly, I ain't made cornbread. Like I let my the women in the family make the cornbread, bro. I've never touched that side of it, but I'll cook everything else. I've made my own gumbo and everything, so I don't really know. But I just know they cook. I don't know. They just get it in with the cornbread though.
We went to some event one time. Um, I believe the person was Spanish. I don't remember what kind of Spanish they were. They actually had corn in the cornbread.
I've had it that way. I mean, I'm in Colorado. I've had some weird shit,
Oh
bro.
yeah, you're in Colorado.
Like so, like I'm right on the border. Like this used to be Mexico.
hmm
Like a lot of people don't know Colorado before we I'm all about history. That's what my comic book's about too.
hmm
Col- uh Colorado was half of Mexico, bro, and they just like kind of pushed all that shit down.
Mm.
So yeah, we got a lot of Latino. That's where a lot of my fan base comes from. That's why like even though Marcel Dupree gets hated on, like gets mad at black people for not buying comics, I somewhat agree because my main fan base is like white people and Latinos, and then I hop on the internet like, yo, I got this black comic book, and they're like, who's this nigga? And I'm just like, bruh, I'm one of y'all.
See,
Like, I'm
I had the opposite happen. So when I did my first two issues, I had a whole bunch of white people buy it, right?
hmm
I didn't. I mean, maybe how I pitched it, but I never said, "Oh, the View is a black superhero, blah blah blah, made by a black art." I never pitched it that way. I kept
yeah.
black. I mean, he's black. Obviously, he's black. He's blickety blicky black. But
On the cover,
but
he just right there, black.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I never made it a selling point. It was until last year I got on TikTok and went viral, and a whole bunch of like pro black people came on there, pro Muslim people, because they try to say the mask was a hijab. So I got the Muslim people as well. So I was like, man, it's crazy. So now I got this good blend between white and black. But before it
Hey,
was
just
straight white
educate
people.
me on the terminology because I'm all about education. So is it hajib or hajab?
Hijab.
Is it hajab? Okay.
Well, I'm not Muslim, but
I don't
the
know
people,
either, bro. That's why I'm asking. So
the people who came at me in the AI voice that I used back in the day, that's what it said. So
they came
uh,
at you, huh?
yeah, because you know it looked like a hijab. People thought I was a female because I had the thing, so I had to correct that. And it was
Okay.
coming at me because they were like, "That's disrespect for you to have a T-shirt as a hijab." Then other people's coming like, maybe that's all they can afford or whatever. That's why they got it on their head. Da, da.
Yeah,
So I was like,
exactly.
man, that's crazy. But like, I got hate for it at first, and people defended me. So like, it was wild. But because of that, I made a good. I made another viral video saying it's not a hijab, it's a T-shirt mask, and it got more views. It was like a video after video chain events, and I kept like going viral. And I was like, I got something, but it slowed
I
down. But you
I
know,
could relate to that. I could relate to your experience because I mean that's even why I'm doing this interview because when I did the name Brown Hornet, bro, first thing people wanted to do was like debate. There's like this debate side of the internet that's like they want to, criticize everything. That's just how the internet is. And you went through that just like in that same scenario and you got to go on the internet to like explain who you are sometimes to people because they don't know you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they don't know the thought process behind the genius sometimes, you know?
Um, Last question of the segment. Uh, have you ever successfully conquered a fear?
Yeah, man. I do it all the time, bro. Like like I'm kind of fearless. Like last 2 week 2 weekends ago I jumped in a river, bruh. I got a wetsuit like I was telling you
Yeah,
earlier in the
full
interview because
circle.
I yeah, I jumped in the river and was trying. I pan for gold because I live in Colorado. I try to do things people don't think about, and because we live in like that type of environment and we're known for that, and that's the name of our basketball team. You would think more people would be doing that out here, but it's like I don't care if you white, black, I don't care what age you are. It's an thing that you don't do, but you see the corporations out there getting the money with their bulldozers and trucks all day when you just drive through the mountains. So it's like we've been brainwashed not to get the money.
Well,
And
just for me not being over there, when you say my panning from gold, this is my mind frame. That's about 70, 80 years ago. I would think it'd be all
exactly,
dried up. So if I go out there, I probably won't get nothing. But you doing it now, 80 years later. So just me
exactly.
outside, I wouldn't think about doing it because I think it's all gone.
Right. The thing is, gold is a natural resource. It actually comes up through streams, through volcanism, and it comes through the quartz veins, and then ends up in rivers. And that's how gold, and that's why they up there still getting it right now. The companies haven't stopped getting it. Like we got one of the biggest gold mines in the United States is in Colorado, and then the other one's up in Utah and Nevada. Like gold's happening. The gold you wear around your neck, the gold chains that it's got silver in there. That's why you got the 24 karat to 15 karat. So like it's just the philosophy of do you want to go get it, and it's dangerous. And then when you brought up fear, like I had to conquer that fear of last year I almost got bit by a rattlesnake. I literally stepped on one, bro, and had to. And there's an instinct when you hear that that'll make your body actually get the fuck out of the way. And that's what happened to me. I luckily my instincts kicked in and I moved fast enough. It snapped at me too, but I moved. So this year going out, I went out with gear, like prepared for this, and like I was jumping in rivers trying to get it. I found a little bit, but it's like one of those things. Like I challenge everything, bro. I will create my own comic book. I will create my own anime. Like how there's supposed to be a team for everything, bro. I'm in Colorado. There ain't no help. It's you know what I'm saying. The network out here is small for what I do, so I do everything. Like from gaming, I got my own. I do a lot out here as a black individual for the nerd community that everybody out here that's black or white knows Lewis because that's Lewis. Like it's a weird thing that outside of Colorado, because I haven't traveled in the network or whatever, nobody knows who I am, where it's like kind of oversaturated with me out here. You know what I'm saying? So I get my
Yeah.
money out here, and then people are like, oh, and little posts, don't be mad because nobody's not buying your stuff. I'm like, bro, you're not buying my stuff. You're missing out. I'm not worried about you. Like, I still get money. So it's like one of those things where the internet sometimes hurts itself in its own community by like gatekeeping us because we're not in New York at the Comic Con. We're not at Chicago at the Comic Con. We can't meet Fantastic Frankie and all that, bro. It's like it's a vibe. And if you can't fit in that vibe because of where you're located, you're almost non-existent based on even on your talent or not. They don't care about your talent. It's more about who you are, where you're at, networking now these days. And then your talent may come into play if you're good enough. If you're not, you'll notice people network, but they'll never get anywhere. And that's what you'll see that too. People network and rubbing elbows, but they ain't moving up further because the talent is only going to take you so. I mean, networking is only take you so far till your talent kicks in. So it's a game, bro. Like people take comic book industry a little too light, I say, and they try to sugarcoat it a lot. You see it a lot on posts, and they try to make it like it's the biz, and it's like it is the biz if you love it, but you gotta love it and you gotta go get it, and it ain't easy, and there's a bunch of headache until you get what you want. And I'm pretty sure once you get there, I've even heard Star say it ain't what you thought it still was gonna be. And I'm pretty sure that's just how it is, but I love the game.
Well, that's true, and that's the end of this segment. Going to the next segment. It's called back issues. Of
Oh
course,
snap.
yeah, of course you're in comics and whatnot, so you all familiar with back issues. But for
Yeah.
people who not familiar with back issues, if you want to know about a character's origin story, like the Green Hornet, you'll go back to his back issues to find out more about his origin story. So in
The
this
Brown
segment,
Hornet.
Green Hornet, the white
Like
guy, the
from
white
the
guy,
white guy with
yeah,
Bruce Lee.
white guy Bruce Lee. But no,
All right,
let's
cool, cool.
let's take it farther back. Cause we talking about back issues, right? Let's take it back to the radio skit. So the Green Hornet, take it back to, when it was on the radio, you had to tune in, listen to it. Hence how Bill Cosby got his, that's
Yeah, yeah, exactly. No,
whole
I
nother
know
story.
about that. I know
Yeah,
about that
yeah.
actually. It's tight that you know. You know what I'm
Hey,
saying?
man.
Like it's tight that you got that history.
Yeah. But we're going to back issues to find out more about your origin story. So you ready?
Okay.
All right. Where are you from? What do you call your hood?
I'm from Montbello. It's funny. There's a hood in Colorado called Montbello. The name of it just sounds black. It's Mexican though. But the way we say it out here, you could tell that everybody in the neighborhood is black because we from the Bell side.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what we call it, Bell side, Montbello, Colorado. It's interesting enough. I grew up with the CEO of Revolt TV. Like that's my friend growing up. We did Taekwondo together. He still reps Colorado and Montbello too. It's a small community of black people out in Colorado. His name is Tavio Samuels. He like runs Revolt TV right now. It's like youngest black CEO. Went to elementary school with the kid, played with him. We was like in bunch of shit. It's just a small community, and there's black people in Colorado, but the network is just so small. That's why I said everybody already knows me out here.
That's dope. That's dope. Y'all still keep in touch?
Yeah, I actually messaged him because he was taking a picture with Michelle Obama and her, the singer.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, because I had seen him at a Juneteenth down here, because that's how small. Like we used to have in Colorado in our Juneteenth 5 Points area, we used to be the Black Harlem for the central of Colorado. I mean, for the central of the United States. So if you was on the East Coast, you stopped in our 5 Points area if you was black. You know how you got the black hubs or the Green Book right now, where the places you could stop for black people. The 5 Points area in Denver, Colorado was where that was one of those spots, and we held the 5 Points there. I bumped into him on Juneteenth. He just was walking through, and I'm like, yo, Daytona. And he's like, bro, good catch. Like, nobody knew who he is because people know rappers. They don't know CEOs. Like, our community is a little weird about the way we think about power when his power level is over 9,000, you know what I'm saying? But they know rappers, you know what I'm saying? They know the basketball stars.
Yeah, it's like in Atlanta too. Like, I can't think his name. His name has slipped my mind. But he used to do work with Jermaine Dupri.
Mm-hmm.
God, I can't think of the guy's name. But I used to walk. I used to walk by him all the time, and it was like, yeah, this is his day party. I was like, okay, cool. And eventually, something came on VH1, and it was like, oh yeah, he's the producer and stuff with Jermaine Dupri. I was like, that's crazy. I was around him all the time, never knew like how big he was. Same thing as Ian Burt. I got an argument with him before because he wouldn't let me in that VIP section to go talk to Waka Flocka's mom.
That is hilarious,
and
bro.
I got money in my pocket. I can buy anything. I just need to go to talk to him because I work for Brit Squad. I need to go in here, and he was like getting real mad. So I was like, "How much you want, bro? I got it right here. Like, let me go in here. I got to talk." Then I don't know, the TLC movie came out or some documentary, and he was up there talking about TLC, and I was like, "Oh my god!" Like, I chunked this man off, and he was the guy.
He just didn't know who he was. Like, exactly. Like, the whole thing was, like, we literally went to Chuck E. Cheese together. We was sandbox homeboys. Man. I got a trophy right now, like a Taekwondo trophy. Mm-hmm. I don't want to mess up my camera view, but I got a little Taekwondo trophy up there next to that Battle Chasers book behind the Star Trek ship. But I had to go against him, and dude he was a straight A student, bro. That's why he's where he's at right now. He's like super smart. And I don't think we as a community value education, but I seen it firsthand with him. You know what I'm saying? I seen people try to do the athlete thing in the hood, and people go do the track thing and try to, and we had some stars, bro. We literally had some stars, but the academics make it. You know what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day. And so it was, even then he was like, yeah, I'm not doing taekwondo no more. And I'm just like, why not? And I'm just like, why are you quitting? And he's just like, it's just not for me. And then he didn't go to the same school, middle school, and like evolved. Never seen the kid again. His parents wouldn't let him hang out with everybody else or nothing, bro. He just like evolved. You know what I'm saying? So that's I think everybody has that point where we kind of limit our abilities through access of things and by our environment. I'm kind of in the mental state though, like I feel like I've always been limitless. I'm trying to win video game tournaments, put
You
out my own
won.
comic books. I did not try. Yeah, exactly. Appreciate it. Put out my own comic books. I do my own animation. I want to do film. That's the only reason I'm doing comic books, is because it's the stepping stone, as we see how Marvel ended up being like the biggest thing since film. I knew that was going to happen one day, bro. I just wanted to be part of it. You know what I'm saying? So like realistically, I'm stuck in Colorado is what it feels like. I know there's opportunities outside. I know I need to leave, but yeah, you can get, stuck, like you're saying, in these little different worlds we live in, not knowing who you need to know to get to the right places. You know what I'm saying?
Speaking of revolt, you know, what got you liking music? What got you liking the genre of music you listen to, or doing music, or anything?
I actually rap. I This is all studio equipment, like my mic and everything. That's what took me so long to get set up. I don't have like a normal podcast setup where it's just like quick turn it on. I had to like go grab the mic out of the closet and then like move my keyboard over and then redo some wires because my wire I was using for the mic cord, was being used for my printer, for my scanner, for my drawing. So I'm
I
like,
know, yeah,
hey,
yeah, I know
you
how
know what
it
I'm
is.
saying?
Yeah.
So it's just like my love for music comes from like freestyling, bro. I've always been like in little freestyle competitions growing up in the neighborhoods and smoke
Back to that,
sessions
back to
on the
that green
green
box, right?
box. Exactly, back on the green box. And like I said, there's just a hood around here, so like we have like a lot of people that the guy who found Jay-Z is from Montbello,
Okay,
Big John Pratt.
I think he said that in the verse one time.
Yep, the guy who found Jay Z is from this town. There's so many people that are from John Cheadle from Colorado. There's a lot of people that are from here.
He's a
Pam
scroll though.
Grier.
He's a scroll.
I didn't watch it, bro. I skipped the whole TV show because they had that AI intro.
Yeah.
I didn't watch it. I still haven't watched it, and like I kind of am as an artist right now. First, I'm kind of fighting against AI. Every asset that I can. I don't believe in it at all. Like it's kind of just it's a manipulative tool, at the end of the day.
What got you in the comics? Like what was it a comic book or a comic like TV show? What got you in the comic book?
Uh I would say my interest to draw got me into comics. Like I started drawing Ninja Turtles. Like I'll put the paper up to the TV, He-Man and Ninja Turtles. I would literally stick the paper on the TV and like try to trace the mugs while the cartoon was moving. And my mom was like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "I'm trying to draw these because I want to do this." Like I knew what I was wanted to do always. So I was trying to draw the people as they were moving. My mom was like, "Stop it." And then so like when I was in the 7-Eleven, I was like, "Can I get a comic book?" And she knew why I wanted it right away. She's like, "This boy loves to draw. He keep trying to draw on TV. He wants some reference material." My mom was a Dungeon and Dragon player. I didn't know what
Oh
a
my.
blurred was. Yeah, I didn't know what a blurred was. Like she was naturally a Dungeon and Dragon player and had the boxes, and I used to lose the dice and stuff because I just thought they was shiny toys. So like I had that whole environment around me growing up. And so when I wanted a comic book, no brainer. She just start copying them for me, bro. So like, and I started getting in, just drawing like what I would see out of the comic books. And then first I was tracing them, and then like within a week I was like, I ain't tracing no more. Like within the first week I was like, I'm gonna do this. So that's what got me into comics, man. It was natural. Like my mom was a blurred before it was a statement. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? So when the thing came out and people were calling it that, I was just like, eh. That's how I am about these type things. I'm like, we been here. Eh. Call it what you want.
Since you listen to the show, I'm pretty sure that's why you brought it up. Cause the next question is when did you find out you was a blurred? But it seemed like you always do because your mom was
I
role playing.
actually didn't know that was coming, bro. I really didn't know it was coming. Like, I didn't. It's my
Yeah,
superpowers, bruh.
yeah.
Uh, nah, that's when I didn't know I was a blurred until y'all told me I was a blurred. Let's put it that way. You know what I'm saying? If that's the real behind it. Like I knew I was a blurred from high school when they was like, oh, Lewis he draw them comic books. You gonna put out a comic book one day? Yeah. And it was like, I'm gonna do that. It was just said, like everybody knew what I draw. They knew I could draw anything. They would come to me for pictures of Tupac and stuff like that. Or a Timberland boot and just stuff like that. But they knew I didn't like drawing that stuff because it was like, eh, I'm trying to draw these comic books. I'm trying to write stories. I'm trying to make movies. I'm trying to. So like I didn't know I was blurred and been like classified by the people until the term came out. And I really don't like classifications, but yeah, when the people start classifying us as that's when I knew I was a blurred.
Yeah, I went through that whole picture drawing thing too. Like, I can draw. I mean, I'm not the best, but I
Hey,
can
don't you
draw.
draw these intros?
What you
Don't you
mean?
draw all the pictures for the
I
people
know
in
I
the?
don't. I don't. Vince White does that.
Okay, it's pretty
But I
good.
mean, but I could though. But I mean,
I was just curious if
I
that was you. That's why I didn't. I
yeah,
mean to
yeah,
interrupt you, but
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. But yeah, I mean, essentially I could save me some money. But it's cool because uh, I guess showcase other artists or whatever and
No, it's
whatever
cool.
and people like it. But I used to draw. Well, I still can't draw. I don't draw 'cause I got kids and time and people artwork look better than mine. But in eighth grade, so I used to draw anyway. Batman, Superman, whatever. Growing up,
Hmm.
Dragon Ball Z came out. Then we always try to draw like Goku, Super Saiyan,
Yeah.
Gohan, Super Saiyan 5, and stuff like that. So I was already drawing like the anime looking faces and stuff like that. I figured it out. Like went from like drawing triangles to figure out it's like a trapezoid and stuff like that.
Yep.
Be able to smooth it out. Then sixth, seventh grade happened. I'm drawing like regular stuff because I think I really can draw. Uh,
Hey, you're doing more than most. That's what you
yeah,
realize, though. You're doing more than most. Like that's the thing about art. I don't care what when a person is putting a pencil to the paper, you're
yeah.
doing more than most. So, my
Like
bad.
I
Continue.
like I remember. I believe it was seventh grade. I want to say eighth grade. We was drawing something. I think she wanted us to draw like a whole bunch of spirals or something that exercise was. So just being a nerd, I drew Shimron. And she was like, "Oh my
Yeah, the
god."
dragon. Yeah,
Yeah, she was like, "Oh my god, look at this." And she was so amazed. And I was like, I just drew a whole bunch
this
of
is Dragon
circles
Ball Z.
and drew the scales and with the dragon with the antlers on it. But around that same time, that's when Full Metal Alchemist and Naruto got popular.
Okay.
Then everybody was paying me to draw pictures of Naruto or uh I think his name is Al from Full Metal Alchemist and stuff like that. And I was like, okay, because it was easy.
Yeah,
Same face, same different character,
it's
different hair.
anime character faces.
Yeah,
It's
it's
kind of
easy.
easy to get with. Yeah.
Yeah. So I did that, but then I got high school and I don't think I drew it at all in high school. I think I drew like a picture of Ludacris one time in high school. I don't think I drew it in high school. But yeah, just because it had other things going on.
See, it's funny you mentioned that. Like, I don't know if we about to go to another segment or not, but it's funny you mentioned that because, like, I don't have kids, bro. I don't have a family because
uh,
I put all it into the comics. Like, people don't understand like how much time it takes to do art, and so like I've had a relationship where I was supposed to get married, but she wasn't gonna help the art. And I knew that, so the relationship didn't work out. Like, so Like everything I do is because I know this is what I want to do, not because like, oh, I'm just into comic books because it's a fad. Like, nah, I was born to do this shit. Like, even when I went to go copyright the Brown Hornet name, it was like, my name is Louis Brown. I rap by Brown Hornet. I was already rapping, like I said.
Okay.
So I rap by Brown Hornet. Everybody knows me by Brown Hornet. Easy marketing. I checked the name, trademark expired. They not using this shit. You got to pay for that shit every year, especially if you're not using it. So you got to pay for it every year. They're not paying for it. You know what I'm saying?
It expired because he was in jail, man.
No, it was inspired before that. That was the whole thing. That's the whole thing. I did copyright this in 2014. I
Okay.
copyrighted the name a long time ago because I knew what I was going to do. You know what I'm saying? And like when he got in trouble, bruh, it fucked up everything. I put it on it like it fucked up a lot of shit. Like the money was like I had the money coming to me, bruh. And then he gets in trouble. And I didn't even launch my Kickstarter till literally when he got in trouble was when my Kickstarter dropped. So I had a Kickstarter going about Brown Hornet while this dude's on trial or right after or some shit. And so I'm like, I wonder how the people gonna take this. I still got it backed. But bro, I had people in the comments talking some shit though. It was like they was really like, oh, it's Bill Cosby on with nothing to do with it. You talking about Brown Hornet for Fat Albert? And it's not that. It's not even that at all. I just want the name. I bought my name. Like I'm on some black people need to own shit type shit. And so the Brown name from history came through slaves when they needed to actually have last names and they gave us all last names. Browns chose the name Brown based off the skin color. And then there was the John Brown Revolt where a lot of people joined that revolt to go free other slaves. So I'm about that. Like I bought my name back. I don't want him to have it. I saved the superhero. People don't realize I saved the superhero that's dead. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm about a different frame of thinking than most. So a lot of it went over people's heads. And it was like some of the old heads though that saw me at Comic Cons out here, because there are black people here. So at Comic Con out here, sold. Like if you see the book, which I'll bring it out, actually, it's right here. Like it's a 88-page comic book people missing out on, like a full colored like comic book. People just missing out because of popularity and who's who on Facebook and who's rubbing elbows at this convention. And it's just like, bruh, you are slipping. Like I ain't even gonna big up my own product. I'm just say you slipping. Like I ain't got nothing to say, but it's good and people like it, but you're missing out. It's just how it is. The internet though is with the community. We need to fix that. I don't know what it is, but we need to fix it. Like we get the same people talked about, and I am not hating on like the Greg Elises and the Harriet Tubmans, Demon Slayers, but we talk about these same creators in a repetitive pattern to the point it doesn't give anybody else any shine.
We going there. Let me go to my next segment. You know, we going there.
All right, bet.
I want to talk about that too because it's about one of them creators. I don't think you said the person's name, but they get talked about a lot. And I asked a couple comic book shops that their books in. They didn't. The comic book shop owner didn't tell me. I didn't ask the comic book owners like, yeah, this is our indie section, you know, whatever. And this book, but this book, and I'd be like, oh, what about that book? So yeah, people don't really buy that book. But on Facebook, everybody's on it. But we getting that. But our next segment is called oh man, hotkeys. And being in music, you might know about hotkeys. You know, that's the button the DJs press to make a certain song or a certain part of the song come up during, you know, the party to get the folks live and jumping. And,
break.
Also in comic books, it's key issues. You know, when a new artist get on a project or a character is introduced, and like nowadays, you know, it might become a TV show or you know a movie. You want to get that key issue as well.
Yeah.
But in this show, this is about talking points, that questions that you know you want to talk about, or points you want to talk about, and stuff I formulated from you know just talking to you a few minutes ago that I came up with that you know people really need to hear about during this interview. So,
all right, cool.
With that being said, let me see what you really said. the question was. I didn't write it down. Uh, let's see. You said, all right. So let's talk about the politics and networking of comics. So far in the comic book community. Uh, you just saying certain people get talked about so much, right? Like,
Yeah.
um, so when I got into the industry, you know, immediately, Tuskegee Airs, um, Harriet Tubman, Vampire Slayer, Demon Slayer, that got me because that was a good, cool concept. Tuskegee Airs, Harriet Tubman. There's one more. Oh, Black Sand. But uh, there's one more. I can't think about the fourth one. I think maybe it was that Black Cotton book. I'm not sure.
Was it Black?
Well, Black Cotton is a book. Yeah, a black artist.
No, that book that's just called Black.
Well,
was
yeah,
it that?
I haven't read that one yet. I'm trying to get a hold of it. I think I have white, but I don't have black. I'm trying to get a hold of it. It's crazy. But those are the things I heard about.
Okay.
But when I go to get on books, it's real hard for me to get them. It was like super hard. Like
Okay.
the only reason I got the Harriet Tubman book, I think 133 Art or whatever it's called was doing like a package deal where I got one in tiers and I got a whole bunch of random books and it was inside that.
There's one there.
And the Tuskegee Air, I mean, website always sold out. Kickstarter barely happens. These comic cons, I couldn't go because COVID, so wasn't going to comic book conventions for to get the books. I got my first issue of that this year, maybe in the springtime at a comic book shop. I bought it from the black comic book shop in Atlanta. He had
you
plenty.
Just find a random issue, or you just found them all?
Oh, he had all of them because I think they're from Atlanta, so it's full.
Yeah,
it's
that
fully
makes
stocked.
sense.
So I got one, but that's all you hear about. Then it wasn't until I got in, I started hearing about more people. Like I came in the game with Concrete Comics, Wingless Comics. Who else came at the same time I did? What was it? Midnight Comics. They came out like a year after me. Homeless Homeboy, if you know who that is.
Heard of him.
And one more. We all came around the same time. Of course, Concrete and Wingless, out of here now. We all came in at the same time. Then now that's the names you hear all the time. And of course you hear, the Danny J. Quick, the Morgan Iverson, you hear their names, and you hear certain other people, 5 Star, Oh, the other book was the Spirit Destiny. That stuff.
That was that first book you was talking about. You couldn't remember?
Yeah,
Spirit Destiny.
Yeah.
Okay.
That I ended up getting that. I ended up getting both of those books, or both of the books that she wrote or whatever. But those names you heard all the time, and when the newspaper came out, you hear them now. And there's some people you hear recently, but it's all you hear about. But it's Facebook groups everywhere with all these people. And I don't know, just because I'm on the East Coast, but a lot of these people are on the East Coast. Now you hear about the Impound Comics, Kyron, Silver, I guess yourself, who is over there, Royal House Comics, who else on the West Coast? Godhood, he's over here, but you hear about him now. So other ones,
actually mention, like, not to cut you off, this is very like important where you're at in your conversation, because like I reached out to Fantastic Frankie and I was like, yo, it seems like everybody that's getting shine is on the East Coast, like, and nobody on the West Coast, like other black people. Is this about black people, or is this the East Coast West Coast thing? Because this ain't hip hop. We should be like united. Like it shouldn't be like that. And when you said dude moved over, now he's over here with us. He's on the East Coast, And like I was gonna move over there, I shouldn't have to. Like it just that's ridiculous, bro. That is really ridiculous that it's the obvious mindset that I gotta go get over I gotta go live and move my whole life over there in a digital age too, where like you said, like you couldn't even get Tuskegee Air's books until you was already out there because you was out there. Like realistically, I did an interview. No, I didn't do an interview. Some I can't remember the group, but it's like Black Superheroes, one of the Facebook groups. The dude Rich interviewed my book and he reviewed it, and he was like, well, first thing we did was look to see if there was any Brown Hornet books to, or if this was the very first one, and it was. I did my research before I created it, and it was just dope to see somebody actually do their research to see if I was the first. And he was like, everybody needs to be talking about this, da 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 da. And it's like nobody's gonna talk about it till I appear on the East Coast on some weird voodoo shit. Like why is that the case? It shouldn't be that when we all are each other's friends, we all know each other,
Well,
and
well,
like
y'all
my
got
shit.
y'all got stuff that I don't have access either to, like that Black Star Collectibles place out there. I'll
I'm
reach out
not
to
even
them.
in Cali though. I'm not in Cali. I'm in Colorado. I don't have
It's next.
access.
It's right next door though.
It's not, bro. Like I go up to the mountains. Like you got to get past the mountains to
Oh
get to
man.
all that. Like people don't realize we are separated from a lot of stuff in Colorado because we got the mountain range. Like if you want to just drive out there, like in another part of the U.S., you could just drive right over there. You can't just drive through the mountains like that. You got to take a flight or take your time to
Dang.
get through the mountains. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's no excuse to not travel, but I'm unemployed right now. Like everybody ain't got the means to do what Greg at least does. We don't, I was bugging him, playing with him like, bro, how you getting them flight tickets? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Oh,
It's a
I don't
joke.
know. I don't know about him. I don't know about him, but I listen to a podcast with another creator. So what they're doing is telling these comic conventions like, oh yeah, I'm Specs Thompson. I got this book. I come to convention. People gonna show up because of me. Pay for my room or pay for my flight, and I come to convention.
Yeah, that's the way to
That,
do it too.
yeah,
But
I mean, I ain't know. Shoot, I'm cough. I mean, I haven't been to convention yet, but the convention I was to be part of, I gave him the money and it got canceled. So like,
oh man,
nah, yeah, I mean, the thing like, should I get my money back or should I wait till next year when they said they're gonna make it bigger and better? So, they
yeah. So
said,
you still have a spot. I feel you.
yeah, they said I get money back in what 90 days, and I was like, 90 days, like,
Yeah, you
that's
still
a
have to wait for your money in 90 days anyway, or just get
yeah,
back in next year.
yeah. So I mean that situation, but I haven't been to a comic book convention with a table, so like I've been peeping the scene out and seeing how I would do it, and I'm ready to do it. I do my first one, which is local, end of September. But
See,
like, but like, I really
boom.
didn't see it was worth it. I didn't see it was worth it until
All right, so I say this: do the biggest one you can. Don't do one of the small ones because it will break your spirit. Like I'm for real. So like I got these right here because people I be in debates with online because I be looking for work and I'll be like, yo, where's that work? They be like, you haven't put in the work. I'm like, yeah, just because you didn't come to Denver. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
I'm like, bro, I've been at every Comic Con out here for 7 years and tabled and had a booth every single year and made 1,000 plus over the 2 day weekends off of my art. So it's like when people say you haven't put in the work yet, I'm like, you want me to come to the East Coast. That's all I hear because that's what it really is. They haven't seen me do the popular thing. And it's just like, bro, that's not what the book is about. You get what I'm saying? Like we are selling the wrong thing these days. Like, and I don't
but
like that.
yeah, I was getting a lot of hate because I wasn't gonna go to conventions. I come from the music industry, so like, me and homeless homeboy, the guy who does homeless homeboy, we both come from the music industry. It was like we ain't paying no prices. We finna go with our books in our book bag and just sell to people who's walking around the comic convention. And people hated that idea, hated that whole concept, of doing it.
The people you
Um,
walked up to, or
no, people, I asked advice, hey, you think if I put my book bag and just sell at a convention, can I do that? and people online was like slaughtering like us, like don't do that, you cheating the people who actually spend their money, have a booth and stuff like that. And I was like, yeah, just because you got hit with the scheme, I mean, I gotta get hit with it
Right?
too.
Nah, that's real, bro. I mean, get your
But
hustle on.
I went to, it was a comic convention. It was like Walking Dead with comic books together, and I seen, they're doing selling Homeless Homeboy out his book bag. I just went there with my
Okay.
family to peep out because that was my first convention I ever been to. So I'm seeing how the scene is, and I could see the reaction of the people he was selling to. Like it was kind of pushy, but he was making sales. So I was like, it's not that it's a bad idea. It's just pushy. A, because I see people there who don't care about any comics in general.
Okay,
They're
he's
here.
approaching. Yeah.
They're here for the anime stuff that's all the same at every booth, or they're here for they want to take a picture with freaking Glenn from Walking Dead.
Yeah.
They're not here for
For that.
that. So I was like, okay, now I see that part of it. Then on the flip side, I see Bobby J over here with this white table with two books on it with nothing, trying to sell the book and say, hey, how you doing? You don't want to look approachable to do it. And I see Godhood Comics. He got his table covered. He got his backdrops, cut out stuff, and he's pushing books out. And I was like, oh, okay, so the smoke and mirror thing. So you look big and professional, you're gonna sell. No matter how the book looks, they don't know if you next on Netflix or not. So
There's a psychological thing to trick people though, because I've done it 7 years in a row. You don't actually need any of that. You just need good product. So what I mean by that is I've boofed and had a table every year, and like you said, there'll be the people that have their banners flapped over the table and the backdrops, and then they got the white, fence things holding up the stuff. Bro, it kills them every time because I'll walk up to the white table with just my name on there and lay out 10 pictures, black and white. And people will just see me and I'll stand in front of the table. And people will just like see me and I'm black. There's a lot of white people out here at these conventions, so they see me. And then I'm like, yo, come here, come take a look at my work. And then they look at the work versus the people that are at the table and they got all that fancy stuff. They're not talking to people, bro. They're sitting there sketching, doing this most of the time and whatnot. And so like I've drawn all day. I'm always drawing. So when I'm finally there, I'm never drawing at a convention. I don't do sketches. I don't do none of that. I'm selling everything, trying to get out there to go have fun. So like I'll lay out there with nothing. Now I'm trying to get a banner and everything else because if I travel everywhere else, I can't use the same strategy. I know it's a psychological thing because I'm the only black guy out here and they like, oh, he looks poor. And then they see the work and they like, God damn. God damn. They literally be like that. They be like, bro, this is. And then they'll do I'm gonna go walk around and look at everything else and my prices. I beat everybody in prices because I don't gouge in price. I'll charge $5-10 for a print that I got for $2, but sell 100 of them. Wow, this dude at the table got a $30 print. He cannot sell one because they're looking at my art versus his, and they're like, nah, fool, this black dude over here is dope. So like, there is a psychological thing about boothing and comic conning, and that's why I say do a big one when I was saying don't do a small one because it'll hurt your spirits. Because I've done small ones and I'll sell like one pick, two picks, but when I'm at Comic Con, bro, it's like I gotta go restock at the end of the day. I gotta go hit up the print shop. You know what I'm saying? So it's a difference depending on the venue. And like you're saying, we both come back from a hip hop background. I agree with you on the backpack and the comic book stuff because when Comic Book Con is not popping out here in Colorado, if I don't go to the bars and become Lewis Brown, the hip hop Brown Hornet person, and that actually draws to and sell the comic books at the bars, the books don't sell because I would have to rely on the black groups on Facebook and they don't buy. So I'm out there doing what you said that, the backpack thing, because it works though. It's just you got to be in the right environment.
I used to
where you're so rare.
Last year I was literally getting my plastic little container, got my books and posters in, right? I was put it in the back of my truck and going to pull up in Walmart right beside the cart rails because everybody got to put their carts up.
Yeah.
Sitting right there with the trunk open, selling my book, and I'll make it like $100 a day.
Nice. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's a hip hop mindset, but I noticed there's people that have did hip hop in art in the blurred side. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm sure there's rock and roll people over there, but we and hip hop sold out the trunk. Like, I'm like, it's a whole different mindset when you've done hip hop and you take that mindset to your sales. Cause we know how to sell because we got that hustle. We can't be shy. It's hard to be a hip hop artist and be shy. So that leaves. So like they go, he got an ego, and I'm like, nah, bro, I come from hip hop. They don't understand it's not an ego. I just come from hip hop where if I look soft, I look soft. Like, you know what I'm saying? I can't look vulnerable as a hip hop, that mantra or whatever, that illusion. So, it's something that, I think there's mental games you can play throughout this whole thing, but you got to play them in the right spots. You can sell out the trunk, like you said, at Walmart. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't do that at Comic Con though. Like at the Comic Con, but you might sell at Comic Con. I saying I wouldn't do it, but that might be where you sell. Like, I don't think there's rules for this shit. And
Well,
that's
the conventions I've been to, like I said, I haven't hit my table yet, but what's a big one you would know? I think they're the same location, so it don't matter. MomoCon and DragonCon, right?
Yeah.
You probably gotta walk 10 minutes before you even get inside the convention.
Oh,
And
okay.
that walk, you just pass through so many people in costume and doing stuff. So I'm pretty sure half of people didn't buy tickets, and I could just set up Indian style center floor and
Real
sold
shit.
some books right there
Nah, real
because
shit.
it was so many people. It was so many people outside in like the walking to there in a little grassy knoll area in between the convention and the hotel. There's so many
Yeah.
people. So I was like, I know half these people didn't buy tickets.
Yeah, some of the people got money and they don't feel like they want the atmosphere. They're about to go spend the money outside, go get some food outside because it's cheaper and better. Usually, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Convention food don't be the best ever. And then so like, yeah, I mean I could see that being a vibe, bro. So like I think I don't know. There's these smoke and mirrors in comics. There's a lot of smoke and mirrors, and I don't like rules because I always felt like comic books is where there should be no rules. Like it's the it's the sex, drugs, and rock and roll. Like leaving the hip hop side of it, but yeah, comic books was always sex, drugs, and rock and roll to me. You know what I'm saying? So like when I see blurs come in trying to be super corporate about it, not handle their business, but corporate. Like they want to put like not safe for work stamp on everything. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't like that because I'm like, nah, bro, that's just not soft. I'm just not into that. That's not what I do. It's not what I got into comics for. Like Wolverine has claws. I always thought there should be blood somewhere. You know what I'm saying? We all do. We know how the game is. It's comics.
Speaking about, we came from hip hop or whatever. Again, like selling, CDs out the trunk, selling my books out the trunk or whatever. Um, Going back in early interview, you talking about the relationship between a writer and artist and colorist and inker and stuff. Uh, I compare a lot of that to the music industry, uh, which my character, Chaz, the Fuse Secret Identity, he's a he's a musical engineer because uh people don't talk about engineers in hip hop. You talk about the rapper, the producer, maybe the songwriter, but
Right.
nobody talks about the guy in the studio recording these people.
Yeah, got to make it sound good.
Yeah, so like when you saying you can use like a relationship, I was thinking about, you said the writer gets the glory, and you can say that by the writer is the rapper, the inker, he's probably the producer,
Mm-hmm.
and so on and so on. So like the farther you go
Yeah,
down,
and the art's the beat. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, and they need
yeah.
to ride the beat. So yeah.
So I mean, so like um, what you doing art? It's like somebody making beats, like, oh, make that, Timberland make that. Oh man, that's dope. I can hear the snare drums and how he did the breakdown and stuff like that. But then you'd be like, oh, who was on that song? Oh, just Timberlake was on that song. Cool. He's the popular one. Yeah, we know who Timberland is, but Justin Timberlake's the one who get all the fame. So it's the
Mm-hmm.
same thing in comics. I joke in these little comic book groups, they talking about black artists and black writers, whatever. And they be like, give me your top five, and they be like, oh, uh, uh, and not of the weird spider, da 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 da. Like, okay, that's cool. What about the ones who's in DC and Marvel, like for real right now? Like, which ones you
Yeah.
like? You like, and you don't know about them. You don't.
Yeah, because they don't read. Some of them don't read. Like, bro, like for real. Like, I got a stack here right now of just old school comics. Like, just I got comics around me because I read comics. Like, I got the new books. I stopped buying since I've been unemployed for the past couple months, but I got damn near every book. Got Miles' first appearance, all that. So it's like when I see what you're talking about, where it's like these people want to get into comics and they don't have what I call like the 100% passion. You know what I'm saying? They like it. They see an opportunity to get their written stories out, but that's not what they do. It shows in their work. Like, because if you haven't studied the craft of what you're trying to do, as soon as you start to get it translated into that, it shows. It really does. Like I said, I do everything. Like I wasn't the best letterer in my first book. In this first book, I wasn't the best letterer. I perfected that shit the entire time so that when these next books drop though, my lettering is on point cuz I respect letterers. After seeing like the technical thing that they do. Letterers never get props. You see them around. Oh, I letter if anybody needs any help lettering. Da 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 da. Nobody ever takes them up. You know what I'm saying? But they probably should and try to check out some of their samples because when they get to that point of development, they're gonna need the dude or they're gonna have to learn what he learned. Literally. There's no way around it. You know what I'm saying? So like there's a lot of people that don't get credit. Writers do get a lot more credit than the whole process. I recently been in the inbox of Rodney Barnes, Reginald Hudlin, and Dennis Cowan, like just sending them samples because it's like, yo, how do I get work? Like I see you guys use the same people over and over, and the same people that they are hiring are the same people that the blackface book groups used on like the same books for the covers, and it's just like the same shit. Like, not saying that it's bad work, but you guys are down this same pipeline of picking stuff.
Well,
And
in the interview I probably drop in tomorrow or something like that. Uh, I interviewed this lady, and she worked for like Boom, Image, stuff like that, and she told me why it's happening. It's literally like they working and they be like, "Oh, I need something." Oh yeah, Lewis over there, give it to him real quick. And they're right there. They're not venturing out. Like they're not. They are going in Facebook groups and Twitter and looking for stuff, but it's just so much easier. Like just give it to him. Like he's right there. Like go. Like they don't even try.
I
And
agree.
then
I agree that and I agree. I mean, I don't disagree with that mindset. My thing is, bro, I came into their inbox and I said, and this has happened twice to me. This is why I don't, no, three times, where they tell you as a comic book artist at conventions, oh, you need to talk to editors if you want to get in to Marvel or DC. So, and when I talked to Jim Lee, he was like, "Oh, we're just worker bees, bro." This was Jim Lee before he's Jim Lee now, because he was out here in Colorado, and he was like, "We're just worker bees, bro. We can't hire anybody." He was 100. He's this the realest dude you can meet. He was like, "Bro, you're lazy and you got all this talent. You don't draw every day." And I was like, "Nah, I draw on the weekends." He was like, "Bro," he was mad at me, and I from that day forward, I drew every single day. But he was like, "We're worker bees. We don't have the ability to hire anybody. So you should talk to people who can hire people." So then what I did with that thought process, and that's plain common sense. I start talking to editors, like the editor for Top Cow, Matt Hawkins, and like Reginald Hudlins and that, etc. The odd thing is they go with, I show them the pic first. This is awesome. Like, I could pull up the post, but I'm not going to do that. This is awesome artwork. Da 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 da. I'll type back, I'm not posting this for likes on Facebook. I wanted to know if you wanted to use this on your next book. I really like it, but I don't pick the artwork. Ask Dennis Cowan to do it, to approve it or whatever. I messaged the artist then at that point, and they just don't reply back. I did that twice, bro. I don't know if it's because other artists are like, bro, I'm trying to eat over here. I ain't trying to share no covers with you. I don't know what it is. It's just weird that it's a big circle of cat and mouse of Jim Lee's like, go talk to editors. Everybody tells you talk to an editor if you want to get hired. Then you talk to the editors that I've talked to specifically. But they say, I'm not an artist. Go talk to an artist to get hired. I'm just like, what the fuck?
But you can bring it back full circle. The music industry the same way. You go up to Jay-Z and be like, hey, this is my record. They be like, I'm just so go talk to so and so. And you keep doing that same thing. They be like, okay, talk to an A&R person. The A&R person be like, well, I don't know. I gotta talk to Jay-Z. It be the same thing. Like they just push it off. Like the only thing I don't know what to do myself.
No, I know you don't. I
think the only way to do it is for likes, maybe. Like until you get
that's for real. Like Kane and White. Kane and White's the homeboy, bro. Kane and White, like literally, I can kind of mix up my style and draw like anything, bro. I've been drawing comics since I was fucking 9, so I can draw like any type of style of comic. I was gonna start drawing a more ink style like Kanan, and because I can do it, and I was just like, well, if he's not getting any jobs and he's putting out pics every fucking day, and like we would chat, and I would ask him, like, I'll be in the DMs like, bro, are you getting any work? And he was like, independent. And he wouldn't really say no. I was asking about Marvel and DC. He knew what I was asking. He'd be like, nah, it's independent stuff. But I'm good though. And he said he was good, and I'm like, that's cool. That's how it is as an independent artist. I do tattoos, I do anything. You get good, and you get money, bruh. So it's like, I'm like, are you getting any Marvel or DC shit though? Like, and then it wasn't until Dennis Cowan and Reginald Hudlin came into play that you really saw Kanan get his shine. And it's like sometimes black people got to look out for each other, bro. And that's just all that was. Somebody black already knew. We all know in the community Kanan was dope. Black people looked out for each other and got him on a book. It's not that hard. It really isn't. Like when it comes to talent. And I think it's just more politics behind it than anything. Like I think there is this, who's this Brown Hornet dude? And why does he have Brown Hornet on everything? Like there is some politics behind this, bro. Like, that people don't want to talk about, and it's just like, we are adults. Like you having this conversation with me right now, you see I'm not a villain. It's just like, yo, we human. Like there's things we can fix in the community to make it a whole lot better. There should be a Black Image Comics at this point. We shouldn't be side cornering it off of DC with Milestone. Like I feel we great. You know what I'm saying?
But speaking of politics, one thing, you talking about that whole Milestone thing with Kane, going back to Tuskegee Airs, Greg, he got to deal with Milestone, but his boy Marcus didn't. I mean, Marcus probably didn't apply. Everybody loves Marcus' artwork, so are you gonna see Marcus on some Milestone books?
That's the thing. You probably still will because of the internet popularity, bro. He doesn't want to be contracted, as that's all that is because he's making money off of the internet so much. He doesn't need to be pulled into that at this point. Like an average person that wants some benefits and some bread, they're gonna get in on that. But Marcus specifically, because the internet has got his back so much, he doesn't have to play those games. You get what I'm saying? It's all about your network. And so like, people try to say, oh, spread your stuff out more. I'm going to be 100. My whole comic book is about conspiracy stuff, bro. Like, I was talking about aliens before I was talking about comic books. Facebook was blocking my entire Kickstarter the entire time there was a UFC fight, and I was like, did you see the way such and such punched? Facebook jail, 30 days, violence. I'm like, what? Bro, what are y'all doing? And then there was a picture of a girl in the bathroom, And she was like, this girl put a booger on the wall. I was like, girls are so nasty. Sexist. Facebook jail. 30 days. I'm like, y'all are doing this. And it was only during my Kickstarters, bro. So it was like the internet does target, bro. We like literally just saw the government had a whole hearing about the UFOs, and I don't know if you watched that, and I don't think people do or give a fuck. But I watched the hearing, and they were like, yeah, we target people who talk about that shit. We
Yeah.
target them motherfuckers.
It's a
The,
as a video that was around when I was in high school, probably early college, and about the whole moon landing thing. One of the
mm-hmm.
astronauts said they met something up there that said don't come back up here now. And since then they have not been back up there.
I
I
heard about
told
that.
I told my wife about it one time. I had to do some deep diving, and I found the video of the guy talking about it. A couple years ago, you know, just brought it back up again to show her the video once again. Can't find the video. Now it's ironic that now they're getting ready to go back to the moon next year, and now they're bringing up all the alien stuff. Cause just being
Yeah,
conspiracies, they
no,
might go
no,
up
real.
there and somebody might say, "Didn't we tell y'all black ass don't go up here?"
Not to come up there. Yeah,
so,
exactly.
so they probably getting like prepping everybody for it. Like we gonna make contact again, and
What's up?
our cameras a lot better this time. So be prepared.
I'm gonna be 100. I didn't even have a premise for my comic book. Even when I was into comic books this whole time and drawing, I didn't know what I was gonna do until I had an experience. My whole comic book is like a catalyst of me having an encounter, a real encounter. Like I used to get sleep paralysis basically when I was a kid. Sure, people have had that before. The thing is, people never talked about it, especially in the 80s when I grew up. Like, that just, you didn't have the internet to research or nothing. So nobody talked about sleep paralysis. It's only newer because of we got Facebook, YouTube, and people actually using the term sleep paralysis. We all
Well, back
know it now.
back in the day, it's called the hag writing.
Hag on your chest. Yeah,
Yeah.
the hag on your chest, and we had myths for it in the hood. So, bro, like when I was a kid, I used to sleep in my mom's bed because I was scared to sleep in my own room all the way up to like 5. And I would get stuck in my sleep and couldn't move. And that was one of the main reasons why I would like want to sleep with my mom because, bro, there ain't no explanation for that when you're 5, bro. Nobody's telling you it's going to happen or anything. It's just happening. And you're just like, oh shit, am I gonna die in my sleep one night? You don't know. So like I had to figure it out myself and I didn't tell anybody. But what happened was, and a lot of people go, oh, you're dreaming, this, that. What happened to me, I realized at a young age, you're not dreaming. You are wide awake because my mom was just snoring. And I was a kid and I was just sitting there like, why would my mom be snoring? And who dreams about that? That's the lamest dream ever. Like, no action, no dialogue, like the brain is way more creative than that. You know what I'm saying? So I sat there and watched her snore, and I'm just like, I willed myself back to sleep. It kept happening to the point I was able to get out of sleep paralysis. Like I was able to like move my arm. It would shake when I would do it too. Like as I'm trying to move my arm, it would be hard it would cause headaches too. As I got like older, around 18, there was encounters where I like caught the motherfuckers face to face with me, bro, like dead ass. And I didn't believe, and I used to laugh at the people on TV because I didn't think that's what was happening to me. I didn't even relate the two until I saw a gray in front of my face, and it was just like I teared up instantly, almost pissed myself in bed, and had to like sit there, contemplate, not cry, but I literally had a telepathic connection that quick couple seconds. And it's weird when you're telepathically connected to something, you share the thought. So when I said oh shit, it said oh shit in English. Just like you hear them on these UFO conferences, they're talking about how they got telepathy and shit now, and they're talking about it now. It's real, bro. All that stuff in the conference. That's why it's in court. They don't just bring up shit in court that's fake. My whole comic book was based off of that. So I was getting blocked off of the internet. So like when people say, "Oh, you need to promote your work more," they don't realize like my work is something that is vast that really probably they don't even want y'all to know about because that content that's in there. When I sent my copyright off, you heard of Chuck the Dragon Collins? He did
Yeah.
Bounce. And I reached out to Chuck. I reached out to Greg Elise. I asked them if they got their books copyrighted. The reason I asked them that is because my copyright went to Afghanistan and took like extra long, and it literally said Afghanistan slash United States. Like they actually had to go over the content because I was talking about SETI, the space programs, and a lot of this stuff in the Black Knight satellite in my comic book. And it's not just a basic ass superhero book. So it was like it really triggered some people, I think, to go watch this motherfucker. Like really, like I hate to be the conspiracy dude, but they're in court right now talking about this stuff. And if you watch the interviews, which I did, they like, yeah, we shut people up all the time through internet. We kill people. We do whatever we can to keep this secret. So yeah, I got myself into something just writing good, bro. Like on accident that kind of will shun me from just using the normal platform to get out and like do things and just, I'm gonna just use Kanan's tactic and just draw every day. I've tried that. I get like 100 likes, 200 likes at the most. It trickles down to a damn 30 in like a week once they start seeing I'm posting a lot. And it's just like once they know I'm posting, my posts literally go to nothing. And it's just like I have to stop posting and surprise the internet with a random post. That's why they'd be like, how come you don't draw all the time and you post randomly? It's because if I just post a lot, they start paying attention to me and I can't trick the algorithm to fucking turn me off. So I'm in cybersecurity and like I said, I used to work for Comcast and stuff. All that stuff's a reality, but people don't believe that our whole world is like as high tech as it is.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, my book, the whole Muslim thing,
Yeah.
I never said hijab, never said anything. On my TikTok, I got just scrolling. They give me a lot of Muslim stuff. I'm not Muslim. They
After
give me a
that,
lot of. I mean, before that. I mean, at the
oh
same time,
okay.
I still get it. I get a lot of
Because
Muslims.
the imagery, yeah, I
Yeah,
get it.
they think I'm Muslim because I wear it. So TikTok feeds me a lot of Muslim stuff. I get the sand Muslim stuff, and I also get the black Muslim stuff. Like I get both Muslim stuff. It's crazy.
That's
So
crazy.
um, even with that, talking about conspiracies, um, one of the plot points in my book, the villains of the story, they get the adrenochrome. Are you familiar? Are you familiar with that?
Yeah.
So if you know
Refresh
what
me. I've heard it. I heard the term, but refresh me on what it actually does though again.
I don't know if it's Harvey Weinstein or whoever,
Okay.
but the elite people, they apparently kidnap kids
So they
and
can take it out of them.
take them out of them. So I don't bring that up in my book, but if you know what it is, it comes from fear.
Yeah.
When they get scared, it get more potent. So
Yep.
I got that in my book. So like when my first issue or my second issue came out, all that trial stuff was going. So like that's when my first book got funded because I'm saying that stuff and I'm getting all these likes on Instagram and stuff. So I'm like, man, that's crazy. So when I go out and do my second issue, I think, okay, I was booming the first time, let me go down the second time. And it don't fund or nothing like that because I had just that random word in there that I knew what it mean, but then that trial was going at the same time and it just made it boom.
So
But yeah.
when you speak of random words, what's funny is a lot of people don't know the word acromatia. Have you ever heard of it?
It's like the Matrix stuff, right?
Nah, acromasia is like what vitiligo is and
Okay.
what albinism is. It's the technical term for what's going down. It's called acromasia, and it's basically cell degradation because of the sun. And so that's what causes like light spots and light people. And basically they don't talk about the word or vitiligo and all that. It was funny because I was typing the word on Facebook for a while and it would come up as if I spelled something wrong. And I was like, nah, this is a real word, fool. Don't try to tell me because I was trying to tell people about it.
That's what Adrenaline called me the same way. It says I misspell it every time.
Yeah, it tried to tell you that you're misspelling the word if it's a word that they know that most people don't know that's tied to something that they'll tell you the word don't exist. You look it up on Google to make sure you're spelling it right, and you'll be spelling it right. And I've ended whole conversations and streams just by typing acromatia. And I would just do that just to see if it would stop the energy of the post sometimes, and it would. And it would be like, damn, they really monitoring feeds and who sees what and how much people get to see of what. You know what I'm saying? Like, as soon as some misinformation, as they want to call it, gets fed into that feed about to get less views. You know what I'm saying? You'll see people not post their the links to stuff on their main post because they know it won't get anywhere if they post the link up there, so they'll post it in the comments. So like, bro, I don't know, man. I've been through a lot just because of motherfucking Bill Cosby, aliens, and fucking black gatekeepers. I don't even get gatekept by white people, which is weird. I never gotten gatekept by one white person. It's always been a black person. And it's just been like, why are you being weird? I'm from the hood. Like, it's super weird to me because I'm really hood. And they're just like, who's this kid? And I'm like, bro, I'm 40 something years old. I look young, but I got hella wisdom and I'm black and y'all not helping y'all people out. And I feel like, who cloned Tyrone? Like, y'all ain't gonna help a nigga out. Like, for real, you supposed to like wake up the whole community when you get what I'm saying. Like, that's my mind state. That's just me. And that's what I did with my book. Even it was on some, oh, I gotta tell the whole community, put it in my comic. You know, best place to hide a secret is in a book. You know what I'm saying? So like, when you said you did that too, it just shows the level of higher thinker creators out there. There's higher thinker creators out there than the ones that are being shined all the time. And that's kind of like my big deal right now. It's like, bro, I'm so annoyed because I'm unemployed. I'm dope. I can go sell comic books walking down the street right now faster than I could posting in a group. To a white person. That should not be us as the blurred community, and I don't like it, bro. It irks me. It makes me not want to come to New York and meet the people because I'm just like, I'm from the West Coast. I'm gonna just go out there with an attitude. Like, I have an attitude because you was hating on me, and now you see me and you're like, oh, hugs. I'm like, bro, I love you too as black people, but we need to do better. Like, just as general, just the way we do things, move, make money, business, share ideas. Like you said, there's a lot of things going on where people do oh, I'm a guest at the Comic-Con. But if you ask them, they won't share that information that's how they're getting the tables, you know what I mean, or the booths or stuff. Because we don't share as a community. And I don't like it, bro. I just don't like it because I am from a small community of black people out here in Colorado. And like, even as small as it is, because it is small, you try to network in even more. You know what I'm saying? So like, when it gets like to people just acting different, and it's weird because I've been to Atlanta and the hospitality is there. If you go to Atlanta, the hospitality is all over the fucking state. So it just don't make sense to me that when it comes to the crab barrel mentality, you know what I'm saying, is like the same shit all the time. It's like, really, I don't know. I might want to do gaming because they got benefits and and you can actually apply on an application. Like, you can never apply for Marvel, bro. You can apply for DC. I gotta go beg Dennis Cowan in his inbox, and then he goes, "What do you want me to do?" I'm like, "I want you to hire me." Like, it's real. There's no structure in comic books, even though I said it's sex, drugs, and rock and roll. It shows it's sex, drugs, and rock and roll. You ain't even got an application process. You ain't even, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's wild in comics. It's always been wild. Does it need to be fixed? Yeah, that part does. There should be ways for talented people to get work. Like, that's why people are on strike right now.
I want to touch on a couple things before we actually touch on your book. But going back, you said, like, I got some plans, some backdoor things. I can see, can I get my way into DC and Marvel? I know some popular writers. Well, two writers, one author right now, not author, artist right now. That's working for the DC and Marvel. I'm gonna see if my way works. Do I get in? But just with them, I'm not gonna say their names just for podcast reasons.
Yeah, you got.
But they're super popular right now, and DC and Marvel's abusing them on projects. Like,
You mean overworking them? You mean?
Not overworking them, just abusing them. Like every black project, everything, y'all just gonna use them for.
Oh,
like,
I get you. Yeah, it's just like that.
And I see it, but one of them, they basically used them because they was popular on the internet. Then they said let's put them on a project, and two of their books was popular, like real popular. We even got me trending on TikTok because of their books. But DC didn't push it. Like, it's no way
Mm-hmm.
it should be no marketability of it. And the character they written for is popular, never get any kind of merchandise or whatever. And I seen that merchandise at Walmart one time, and next day I went to Walmart, it was sold out. So I'm like, why DC not pushing it? Then when another person, the Marvel guy, uh, they only get him on small little runs, like 1, 2 issue runs and stuff like
Yeah.
that. But they keep using them over and over again. So I'm like, okay, you keep using them for all these characters, but why not? So I'm thinking maybe if I incorporate myself with them, would it be like, oh, well, if they work with him, this guy must be a good guy because ain't no way. And with the artist, I was gonna say, let me just get some artwork because uh, it went from just doing some posters, I believe, or promotional work to now they're on books and now they're doing some other stuff. So I was like, okay, they complaining about this stuff, but they constantly getting work every like all the time. Yeah, you're on toy boxes and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
why are you complaining? So I know the money ain't there. Like you can do indie artwork and get paid hundreds of dollars, but with Marvel they probably slide you a 40 and be like, here you go.
But
So,
see,
but I
my
think it's
thing is,
notoriety though. You
yeah, you
know,
get that on your resume. You can't put somebody that ain't made it on your resume. You can, but nobody cares. Like you just like when you go and put that on your resume and the job has to call that person and they find out it's just a regular person, you could have just made it up then at that point. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't care unless it's a big name, which is for a resume. You do want that on there because like it's sad that and everybody's like Disney's the devil, and I'm like I don't care about none of that shit, bro. All I know is that when Marvel got on Disney, you can get an application finally. Before Marvel was with Disney, if you went to their website, they said we'll find you. I found that so rude, bro. Like as a person that wants to get into something like that, you're like, okay, you'll find me. I'm just gonna what? I'm in Colorado, bro. This just that was like the most frustrating, and I dealt with it until the Disney merger. I just was like, Marvel's not an option. Don't think about, and that's where I created my own books and stuff because when you take away people's, I think that's what's happening to the whole Marvel company too. I think a lot of their fan base are dreamers. And I think a lot of the dreamers don't see an opportunity for themselves or don't like the way the dream came out because they're creatives too. And you see a lot of critics, and they're like, "Nah, I would have wrote that shit better." Because some of those people probably would have wrote better shit than some of the shit they did. There probably are people that they just didn't give a chance or never knew how to give a chance. You know what I'm
mm,
saying? So like that's probably why Marvel, and not saying that the stuff that they didn't put out was good because I liked it better than DC. It is what it is. It's not bad. CGI was good. I'm an artist. I liked it. It got me through it. But at the end of the day, you gotta manage the whole company. I just don't think like I don't think not getting the credentials from Marvel is a good thing. I know they don't pay, but at the same time, I would want to get on there. But at the same time, like you said, if you keep seeing the same artists, that gives you the same mentality as you can't apply. Because if they keep using the same artists over and over, like Torrin Clark is dope. They use him on the covers for the new Silver Surfer. They use Torrin everywhere now for covers. Torrin is dope. I don't care. He doesn't need to stop doing covers. They need to add more people along with him that are black doing covers so he's not the only one doing the covers.
yeah.
And I think that's kind of what you were saying, but
Yeah, I
yeah.
mean, it just well, going back what you said earlier about Jim Lee, told you don't draw every day. I interviewed a guy. He did Hellboy. Uh,
Mac
he,
Manola or nah.
I can't think of his name
He's
right now.
not was he a writer or artist?
He's an artist.
Okay.
Uh, he he's at the money. Say, well, okay, he's a special case, so he's really making money off of comic books and stuff like that. But he was saying like he's probably gonna do projects that week. But when he got an injury, he was probably taking it slow like you, but some guy taught him like a cheat code or whatever. So now he just spit out artwork on the fly. And he said that's what changes you from being a professional and an indie person, because the professionals, they want you to spit out these covers or whatever so quick. They're not gonna pay you that much, but you're gonna be on 5 projects that drop that month. And it's probably equal to that one indie project, but as a 5 projects, it's with Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, whatever. Now you own these projects, so you got a notoriety for it. So it's basically you balance in what you want, the money or notoriety. So like he said, he don't mind doing that because they want him to draw a cover. He can draw that cover in a day. Boom, it's done. Versus somebody, I guess like you or whatever, who probably take you a couple of days.
No, I don't. That's the whole thing. I'm just saying though, like that's the whole thing. Like people don't realize, like, bro, I've been doing this since I was 9. So like, I can do covers in a day. I can do all that shit. I was gonna do a flip screen and show you the book. Like I have 2 books ready to go, but it's just like, man, if I can't break the internet and get past the shit, then nobody will ever see stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, so like, yeah, you can get a cover done in a day or whatnot. I think it's more so about getting to the people though. Right now is kind of my thing, to even get to that point to give you a chance to get the cover done. Like,
but see, 2 people I talked about previously, they said, like, let's say the same guy who's spitting out 5 covers a week or whatever, and working on another project. He said it gets to the point that you be like, I don't want to do it. Let me hit up Lewis. I get Lewis that project. Draw that real quick for these people. They need somebody to draw. And then boom, now you own. It's how it goes. Like I said earlier. It's somebody right there.
Yeah.
Like it's just.
Yeah, you're right though. It goes like that. Like somebody can't fulfill some shit, they just hand it over to somebody else. But nobody know me. I'm in Colorado. That's how I feel, bro. Like I feel like the Truman Show. I feel like I'm Truman in the mountains, literally, or some like weird TV studio that keep me away from like everybody. And I feel like everybody's like, yeah, he's dope, but we can't let him make it out into the regular world because that would ruin the whole fucking show. Like, so, and then that's the whole thing though. Like, if I'm not in anybody, if people don't know I exist, then how can they ever refer me?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And like, you're totally 100 correct. That's how it works, bro. But if people don't know I exist because of internet politics and people just not sharing my name enough, or algorithms not showing my posts, or whatever it could be, I should be able to just, and I know why they stopped this, because they probably had babies sending in crayon drawings. But there should be a place where I could just submit my art. Like, that still should be a thing. And I really don't think that needs to change. If they need to hire somebody to vet through that shit, then I'll do that. Hire me to do that, then I'll be the guy that actually vets and gets y'all the other talent. If y'all not gonna hire me for the talent, but the whole system is broken. I feel like as far as getting the good talent that we have in the community, like the black community, and we just recycling the same ones over and over. Like, I don't know. There's got to be a better fix for that than. And then I see people play the politics of they're not who they really are on the internet. And I know some of these people are not who they really are on the internet.
They're not.
And it's just like, you're not that friendly guy, and that I'm real 100% all the time. I don't know how to be any other way. I'm not like rude. You know what I'm saying? I'm just real. So like, I see people like sugarcoat their day sometimes, and it's just like, to just like thinking that's going to bring in the audience. And I see it mainly with writers. Writers do that more so than artists. Artists, we either show you the work or we're not. We're just in or out. You know what I'm saying? Writers like to talk about things to get people engaged more. So they will play this happy thing. And I'm like, you're a good writer. And I could see it in the way you're working the audience, but go write. You know what I'm saying? Like, and the reason they're doing that is because they want to get seen, though. Like, I'm not knocking them for what they're doing. It's just that bad out here to trying to get a job and how to, that they think that's the way to do it. You know what I'm saying? Because there's not a way for them to really like show off their writing abilities or just submit the work. So they're like, maybe I'll do this movie review. And they write long ass paragraphs that none of us read.
Yep.
Some of us
Yeah.
get through it, but not most of us, bro.
So to touch on your comment, man, Brown Hornet. What made you write a Brown Hornet conspiracy theory story versus a junkyard cosmic hero story?
So Brown Hornet, it's basically a space opera, bro. It's like, what's the black sci-fi word? Um,
Urban Afrofuturism.
Afrofuturism. Thank you. That's why these labels, bro. I'm like, just my shit's dope, bro. I try not to go through all that. So like, yeah, it's Afrofuturism. I grew up off Star Trek, bro. When I turned my camera up, you saw a bunch of Star Trek ships and shit.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm just a sci-fi head. I'm a science nerd. So like, when I pick up a comic book of a local artist or creator or writer or a independent creator or writer, my pet peeve when I like first read their book is they do the origin story where it's like a dude in the lab and then there's an explosion and then he gets his powers. And I'm like, nah, that's just lame. Like, I want my stuff to feel like a movie. Like, you walked in the movie theater in the Matrix and you didn't know what was about to happen, and dude jumps out the window and like it takes you on a ride. So like that's kind of how I wrote my first book, and it was a graphic novel. I didn't do the individual issues. I don't break it up into like individual chapters, like issue 1 or 2 or breaks, because it's just one. It's a narrative of basically the universe that I built. Then I got the 2 other books that spin off of that, because that's Brown Hornet Omniverse The Fallen, and then I do Brown Hornet Omniverse Pangea, which is basically going back to when all the continents were united, and everybody wants this Black History past story, but you know we got Black Sands, and like a lot of people don't like it, even though they like he's getting somewhere and they like that, you know, it's getting popular and stuff. It ain't everybody's cup of tea.
Is it getting popular?
It's, as far as popularity doesn't mean success. Yes, it's popular. You know, it's notorious. Everybody kind of knows the name. I've had people locally come up to me. Oh, have you heard of Black Sands? Like, I'm like, bruh, because they know me, I'm the comic book guy, you know? So they'll come to me and I'll be like, yeah. And the community don't really fuck with them. Oh, for real? And I'm like, yeah, it's just like one of those things where he's marketing. He's doing his part as a person. That's where I don't hate on anybody. Miguel markets his shit. Do I like it? No. Do a lot of people like it? No. Is there some jealousy involved with people not liking it because they're doing Egyptian stories too? Yes. Is it for kids? Yes. And that's why it's not for me though, in the first place. So like, I don't hate on anything he's doing. It was never for me. It was never for a lot of us, but we like to do this thing in the group where I blame us for looking at it so hard. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was never for any of us, really, I don't think. And we saw that as we tried to get into it, like, not for me. So I ain't gonna hate on the dude. He made it on Shark Tank. I thought about doing the same thing. He like beat me to like little steps that I wanted to do where I know my shit would shine way better than his did, but he just got there first. And that's our community though. Like a lot of people get mad over that. And they like don't want to give anybody no props. And I'm like, bruh, they out here hustling. Everybody out here hustling. They may not be the best. You might not like it. I don't.
Well,
but
when they said he's like, okay, you said people don't really mess with him in the community. They do mess with him. Like, you should see how many other Black creators book was actually on that app. Like, it was so many. And they said
that's
like
the thing. They trying to get something from him. They don't fuck with him. They want their shit to shine on his app. Like, I thought about fucking with him, even though I don't fuck with him, just to get my book on his app. But I got too much pride for like my product to even be around things that I don't like. If I won't let my kids spend a night at somebody's house, bro. That and you're a parent and I ain't got kids, but you understand this. I ain't gonna let my kids spend a night at his house. That's just not what I'm doing
Yeah,
with Brown Hornet. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. I thought about it. I thought about forwarding, and I heard the prices, like how he was paying. I was like, I know how apps work. I know how you get paid per click and all that stuff. Like, come on, man. These prices are like chump change. Like,
I
like
didn't even
nothing.
get that far, bro, but I could
I didn't get that
imagine.
far either, but I knew a guy who was on there. Then he backed off, and then like he used to be like champion him on posts all the time. Then he stopped. Then I inboxed him and asked him like what happened. He told me, like the prices he was giving and stuff like that. I'm like, man, that's crazy. That's like
It's,
that's not even like he's not even getting paid per click. Then I don't know if it's him doing it or just how stuff go, but like your book also get like kind of shadow banned a little bit. Like uh so you had to read like one Black Sands book to get some tokens. You know, tokens you get to read other people's books. So like if you don't never get the tokens, you never get to see nobody's books. And you had literally search for those books.
hey, I don't know, I don't like that. I don't know. It just never
Yeah.
really. So like,
But
I
they said at
seen.
convention, they said at conventions though, he's a great guy. You talk to him, he whatever. But it said like if you white, like it's hard. Like he real hard on you. Like I heard stories like he was beside like white creators and he just digs into them like real hard. Like I just imagine the white creator just like packing that table up and like leaving. Like
Like,
he's
see,
like that.
like, I'm I'm not like that though, like, cause I don't know. Like I say, it might be because I'm not from the South and I don't really have those type of white people around me. Not saying I ain't got no racist white people around me because they exist, but it's a different type of white people down there that might turn people off more. And so like they give me money, bruh. Like they like Brown Hornet. They know Brown Hornet from the Cosby. They be like, "Wow, you did something with." They get it, and they don't really like. And they just look at the art. The art's dope. It's colored. I like it, and they on their way. Like we do too much thinking sometimes. I think with each other. And I seen an Asian comedian talk about this. It's called Tiger Belly. His name is Bobby. He was like, when I watch an Asian person on TV, I'm always judging them around the rest of the cast. Like, say it's Shang-Chi standing around the rest of the Avengers. He's like focused on the Asian person's performance and making sure that they do their best job. You know what I'm saying? And it can be overcritical sometimes because that's all he's watching to, and he can't even enjoy the movie. And I think that happens a lot where we miss out on good products because we can't enjoy the movie because we're trying to be overcritical on who brought you to the table, who verified you, you know. And I see other artists try to post other artists to try to re-verify other artists, and it's like that's cool, but it's still a problem. You know what I'm saying? That you're trying to the other artist sees their network like they wanted to be part of Black Sands because they seen his network. They seen he made it with Kevin Hart, bro. They may not like the dude, but they want their shit to be successful. So they try to network. Like, that's good. But you still got to make the right choices, though. Like you saying, you got to make the right choices for your product all the way around. You got to like separate the egos from the BS. And there's a lot in this industry.
Um,
I talk so much, I'll throw us off, bruh.
no, I mean, I was trying to go back to your book, the Brown Hornet. So
Okay,
like,
my Brown Hornet. So yes, I got sidetracked. Yes, it's what is it about?
space opera.
Yeah, you don't have to re-edit this or chop the scenes or some shit so I can like get to the point. But yeah, it's a space opera. It's about Michael the Archangel. It basically deals with the seraphim and the Nephilim. How you hear it in those words, like nobody was saying angel back in the days, so the term archangel is more Greek and like Roman, and a lot of the stuff that we hear in words now existed, but they were calling like them Nephilim and the Seraphim and things like that. And that's where you get the giants on the earth in these days and all that stuff from Genesis. And what's crazy, the book is not religious. It's like very violent. Like there's blood in there, there's some boobs, some nice women. You know what I'm saying? It's just that what they don't talk about in the Bible is how raw that time period is. That's what I bring like to the table is like the R-rated. I wouldn't say the R-rated Bible because that's not what I'm trying to do. Like I feel that's kind of blasphemous or whatever, but it's like the real take on where black people came from with the acromasia and the vitiligo. Not I mean white people came from us, like how they say they came from us. Was Pangea. The continent was all one. That's why they say everybody comes out of Africa because it literally was connected all at one point, and they did come from black people, like Asian. I mean Chinese in China. They literally did their DNA test. They don't deny it. They ain't you know, some people, some cultures are humble about it, and some people have an issue with it because of dominancy and they're running the world. But my book's literally like I just wanted to dive into the history, and I don't know if I got the download from messing with an alien, you know, the times I have or whatever. But like a lot of the stuff I did in the book, I would research and find out that it was historically true. I didn't even know about the Dogon tribe until I was working on my book and found out that they knew about the star Sirius in Africa and they didn't have telescopes and all that. And so like they're literally in my comic book. I like put all that in there when like Osiris first shows up to the planet Earth and the Dogon tribe see him arrive and he steps off the ship and looks at him primitive, but he's like looking at the soil because there's gold in it. And it's just like I go through a little bit more in depth than you would say Black Sands would, and it's adult. Like it's what we wanted. Like from a title like Black Sands. The title's dope. The name is dope. I see that a lot in our community where you got a good title, bruh. My title wasn't the best. It was Brown Hornet. It pissed people off, bruh. But what's inside? That's why I kind of be like, I don't care. The people who buy it get that gem. The people who go, Brown Hornet, you can't do that. I'm like, sucker. Like, I don't care. Like, it's like, you're missing out. I know I'm dope. The work's dope. I don't really have any, you know what I'm saying? The next couple books are going to be even more sick to the point. This one was only distributed if you hit me up on the internet or on the Kickstarter, and I printed like 2,500. I only got like 500 left, and I'm not like trying to sell them. You know what I'm saying? You want to hold on to those last 500 for when I go to conventions and I start the real push for the individual issues, which are going to like tell the full individual character stories. This is like a narrative that gives you an overall encompassing of like most of the stuff I told you about from like the history that it's delivering, and it does it from a not a superhero standpoint, but bro, Michael was the first superhero. Literally, Michael the Archangel is literally the first superhero in existence because he slayed the beast. Like, so I literally went and created a comic book to give props to the first superhero, giving props to the first cartoon superhero that I saw on TV, which was Brown Hornet. Like everything's more like a ode or tribute to in my comic, and it's just got some deep shit. It got like layers and layers and layers on it that there's rap lyrics in there from just little shit and comments that if you're a hip hop head, you're like, damn, this dude just used the line from Outkast. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and he made it seem flow in the sentence like it wasn't forced. You know what I'm saying? So that's like what the book's about, bro. Like I would do a flip screen. I don't know how to do it though. A share screen. I see it at the bottom.
Yeah.
And I can show you some pictures of the new issue.
Yeah, just take a little reading. That's all.
Yeah, we don't do that.
Yeah, but I do the same thing with lyrics in my book too. It's a lot more implied because I put music notes around it, but you still have to know like what song it's from. Like he's getting ready to go like actually kick a door in, and I said Gucci Mane's verse, so you have to know and about what song that's from. He's riding in his car on one issue, and he's singing "Top Back" from T.I. And it's just a piece of the little verse, but you have to know the song. Like, oh, that's what he's singing about.
See, that's what that's what I'm saying. Like we bring a little extra because we were Like we in the hip hop. I mean, some of these writers were too, but like I was really out there doing it. I met Big Boy. I had a chance to go on tour with his tour manager. Was like, you got to pay for yourself, and I figured out how the game worked. How it is like you really got to pay for yourself in the in
Yeah.
the. I was just like, yo, I'm gonna just go do these comics, man. So I'm trying to make this. I'll try to make this big for you, but actually, I just want to run past that page like I just talked to you about. Uh, yeah, so I don't know if you're able to see.
I think you shared the wrong screen.
It didn't. Let me see.
You're sharing the look
The
like your
win.
web browser screen instead of whatever you're trying to
I
pull up.
said Windows. Okay, let me go back in there. Share.
See, this is why I do a pre-record. It's like
Nah, for real. That's why I was like, you know what? This pre-record, I'm sure I'm good right now. There it go. Dope. Can you see that?
there you go.
Popped up.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like I was saying, like I really go into history.
That's your artwork there. So you the artist. That's pretty dope.
Yeah,
So
that's
you
me,
color
man.
too?
I do everything, bro. I did
Oh,
the
that's dope.
pencils, the ink, the
That's dope.
coloring, and like that's what it goes through. Like I was saying, I try to the stuff we talk about, and like if you're into that type of stuff, I literally like drew it out. You know what I'm saying? And he's wearing Solomon's ring. I don't know if you've heard of that, but like there's so much lore behind my books, bro, that you're like a lot of people who are just into some shit. Like if you're really into some shit, you don't want a basic ass comic book like where the dude just gets his superpowers. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
I'm trying to like enlighten people at the same time, give you a movie because that's what I really want to do is go create movies, bro. Comic books is like the broke man's movie.
Like in my books, issue one is not the origin story. You know, I will talk about the origin story, but it could be a brief thing. But I want my book to be popular enough when it's time for me to do the origin story, I can just do that straight animated or live action or whatever. And that would be like what I write what the silver screen portion of my book would be about is an origin story. Then you want to reach back, you can get the books, you know, just do it like backwards anime style.
Yeah, that's how it's supposed to be. I think more so in America, and I think like we trying to play the game. We trying to figure out what Japan or anime is doing, but you kind of got to flip it backwards and have it on TV first, and that's how we consume it in America. You know what I'm saying? We see it on TV, then people want to go get more from the books.
You know, like Invincible, like I've seen Invincible books before. I ain't cared nothing
Skip
about
it.
it.
Same here, bro.
TV show came out, I got issue one now.
I feel you. I did the same thing. Like I ain't even gonna front. Like I went and because Colorado isn't on the East Coast or the West Coast and it's sitting right in the middle, and because we have that Mile High Comic Superstore here, like people don't know that's like either the biggest or the second biggest comic book store. Like they try to say the one in New York is bigger, but they only saying that because they in New York. Like they haven't actually been here. Like if you go Google the square footage, it's a warehouse. And I'm like, how can you beat a warehouse, bro? It's a warehouse. Like you're not beating the size of a warehouse. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's two warehouses. So like I'll go there and just collect, bro. Cause I can get old stuff. And I tried to offer some people in groups. I'll be in these black groups, like they be trying to collect black comics. And people be on their ego so much and it annoys me. I'm just like, yo, I can get that book for you. I'm good. Just like, dude, I'm trying to like actually get y'all stuff that y'all can't get.
Well, I had to hit you up because I got some lists and some plot holes in my book, so I'll
am
pay
that
shipping
dude,
fee.
bro. I am that dude. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
I was able to do that for people, and people were just like, whatever. You're that brown Hornet guy, and I'm just like, here we go again.
Mhm.
Like
you do look antagonistic on the groups though, but I mean I don't care, but I guess you do look like it.
I am that way because That's
You're
how
not as
people come at me, bro. As soon as you
you're
come
not
at
as
me that way, I'm turning it on. Like I'm not
yeah
gonna turn it off and play nice like everybody else.
yeah
You
you're not as big as villain as Marcel though, but
Nah, Marcel's got his whole villain thing because he pushes stuff to like I don't know. He says the N word, bro, and I don't know. That just bugs me. Like, cause he has a white audience. Like, you just do certain things to like fit your demographic, and then my mom's just like, nah, you don't use certain things around certain people.
yeah.
So
You
like,
don't dance in front of white people.
nah, you don't do that shit, bro. So I'm just like, nah, and then so like, I am antagonistic, but you'll also see I'll stop a motherfucker from saying some shit because I'm usually right. And so like, nobody likes to butt heads with me because I'm not coming from the same place that they're coming from usually. Like I'm coming from so much passion about this because I do it. Like a lot of these people just don't even do it. Like you was just saying, like there's a lot of people that don't really even read the comic books, but they want to create them. Like I really do every aspect. Like I don't know if you see the next page. This page got me in trouble on Facebook. Like this is why my account like literally got shadow banned.
And that's the experience you talked about, right?
Yup. And like I basically put it in the comic book and replayed it to my character in my story and had him live through the same scenario. But yeah, I put everything I that happened to me in the book, and everything that's happening in the book is a form of reality redone to fit the format of my story. But everything in there is real. Like it actually happened in history at some point. It was said it happened. You know what I'm saying? So like I kind of I kind of go in on my book, bro, like a little bit like I go homeless for this shit and I don't want to. That's how much I care about my comic book versus I feel like a lot of creators are like I ain't going homeless for it. I'm like, bro, I was born to do this. Like if you're born to do something, then you go homeless for it. Like I don't want to, but that's how hard I would go for it. Like not, you know what I'm saying? That's like the logic. Um but it's just about I'm trying to pull up some more pages from I'm gonna pull up the next issue that actually shows Brown Hornet because that's another thing I ain't really been showing him to everybody because I've been like, man, the people who buy the book should be the ones who get to benefit instead of the internet getting the free content all the time.
Yeah.
And so I try to like I don't know if you I think you've seen the cover. This is the cover.
Okay.
So that's Brown Hornet. And, you know, I call him Brown Hornet because, like, in the comic book, not to spoil too much, he has amnesia after the battle with the devil or whatever you want to call him, the dragon or whatever. And he has amnesia after that, and he's lost in space in his present day, like the future. And he doesn't know that he is what he is. And he's drifting through space, and he reawakens because there's new threats and he's needed again because he's literally the hand of God pretty much. And so like not to spoil too much, this is one of the forums you see him in, and he actually through the comic book, like from the cover I just showed you where he was sitting on top of the other beast on the graphic novel, you'll see him like wearing different outfits. My character isn't like stagnant where you'll have him let me find this other pic where he's like dressed up. He's not stagnant where you'll see him like just wearing one outfit the whole time.
Yeah.
Because he's gonna like he's like a ever living being. Like nobody's gonna wear the same thing like the entire time. So then you have him like here and it's like Brown Hornet attire, aka Brown Hornet attire, because about time he actually returns to Earth, and when people like first see him, like that's the street name we give him. That's his street name, literally. So it ain't really like you see him in the comic book like his corny Batman movies and they go, I am Batman. He doesn't do that shit, bro. Like he's not running around in the comic book like I am Brown Hornet. Like that shit's whack.
I understand.
So like he gets his name from when he actually has his encounters and finally meets with people and they want to call him a superhero. You know what I'm saying? And they like that's when it happens, but he never will call himself that. He calls himself Ra. Like he is Ra, the sun god Ra. That's literally who he is. And Michael is Ra, and we just mix stories through history. This is basically what this book tells you as you're going through it, that all the shit that all the mythologies that we thought were myth and whatnot are actually real, and basically just mixed up stories through time playing the telephone game. And so, yeah, man, the book is just, I could keep showing you art, but this is stuff that people just haven't seen. They have no
Yeah.
idea because they didn't buy the book or don't mess with me. And it's like, go ahead, miss out. This is going to sell to somebody. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
yeah, the style, the coloring, really, I guess, for you telling me it's like a cosmic story as well. Like it got that cosmic element too, and also like, I guess like, I don't know, like Greek or Roman look to it too. So it blends
Yeah.
together. Yeah.
So like, I've really been out here like just putting in work with. So people say, "Oh, you gotta put in the work, or you gotta be able to finish the pages." I'm like, bro, do you see? Oh, well, they don't see what I do, honestly, because I don't just put it out there. Because I don't think this shit should be given away for free. Like, here's the main antagonist, the villain of the comic. Like, I got some dope shit going on. My villains look as dope as the heroes. Like, you want
Yeah.
to, you know what I'm saying? And I don't see that with a lot of creators where they're like, oh, like my villain is what you should be trying to check out. Like everybody cares about Omni-Man right now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Omni-Man is why we are watching Invincible. It's
Yeah.
the villain.
Thanks.
Well, yeah, I mean so far, because if you read the comics, you know this shit gets even wilder. But yeah, that's what brings people in, like, so I don't want to show you too much, but I'm gonna show you like a couple more pictures and then we can get back. But yeah, like I got action in here where it's not just talking. Like you got the full gamut going on in my books where
Okay.
like we out here doing it in the books, like you know what I'm saying? But it's like you gotta buy the book. I ain't gonna give this out for free. Like this is probably the most I've shown like just on the internet, because if I start posting these and if my account's blocked, I'm doing myself a disservice all around because nobody sees it. My account's been shadow banned and all the work I put into these pages just doesn't get seen.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna
Yeah.
flip it back to us.
But that's dope, man. And I'm going to end this segment right now. But to the last segment of the show, it's called Digging
Oh,
in the Crates.
how do I hold on, let me stop
You
this. There we
it
go.
should be like a little, but yeah, digging the crates. Being in music, digging the crates. You gonna find that vinyl from back in the day. Or the CDs. Going through the crates.
Yeah.
Also comic books. And you're well accustomed to digging the crates of comic books, going to that big warehouse. So in this segment, I've been digging the crates of stuff we talked about in this interview. Go back to it. Just like one question. Um, you say you give out your artwork, not give out, but you send out your artwork to these different people and whatnot, hoping to get a job or something to use in the industry or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So, since you're a writer and an artist, what project or story would you like to work on, and would you like to work on that as an artist or a writer?
I want to be on, like, they ain't even black books. That's the whole thing. I want to be on Darkness and Spawn first. Like,
Dang,
before,
darkness. Look, speaking of darkness, well, you keep talking, but let me show you something. You keep talking.
yeah, Darkness and Spawn first, cause like, Darkness is probably my favorite character based upon his power set and the way he looks and how grimy. Yeah, see, yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I'm talking about, bruh. Yeah, you're a real
Yeah.
one. So yeah, Darkness because of his powers, bro. Like the fact that they wrote that comic so raw that they wrote the comic so raw that they said that his weakness is basically if he lets a woman have his seed, like, and basically has a kid, and his powers would he would die and the power would go on to his kid, is like, and that's how he got his power, basically from his father who was a mob boss. I mean, bruh, like that's exactly what I was saying. That's not a lab explosion. that is some dope creation in the way he is as a character. And then you got Spawn. We all know Spawn, and I don't have to re-explain the dude, but artistically, that's the book that I would say kind of made me want to do this, and kind of I took what it's funny. I took my style from Todd McFarlane first, and I started studying Greg Capullo, and then I was doing the Jim Lee thing like everybody was with the crosshatch shit, and so like I can draw like that. But then I met an artist named Stejpan Sejic. I don't know if you heard him, but he does DC work. He does like all the painted stuff for DC, like all that stuff that looks painted.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does like the Harley Quinn book, and like he did Darkness actually too. For he's the guy that had that Top Cow doing all the Darkness stuff when it was painted.
Okay.
And so I met him on Facebook, and I'm like, bro, he's the one who got me into digital, like so I can color, because I was just drawing. And I was like, bro, how are you coloring that? And then he was like, I got a tablet. And so I was on tablets before everybody because of that dude. And like, I was been on tablets for like 12 years now. Like I have like 3 tablets, bro. I've been like really doing this shit for a minute. And then so he was like, you're an imitation comic book artist. And I was like, that was the best critique I have ever had, bro. Like, cause I see it in other artists, and I'm like, yeah, you're trying to draw like da da da. You know, we see it all the time. It looks like such and such. And he said, yeah, you can draw, but you're an imitation comic book artist. And I was like, what do you mean? And he was like, you need to study gesticulation. And I was like, gesticulation? What the fuck is that shit, bro? Like, and so I studied it, and I looked up the word and actually studied it. Whole new game of drawing, bro. It was like I stopped wanting to do the Kane and White overshadowing style where it looks cool for the likes, and just was like, nah, this is how you create pages. This is how you get comic books done, is knowing how to move humans like with gesticulation and conversation. Like I'm expressing myself. You want to see your characters on the page talking like that. Like I don't see that in comics either, because a lot of the people, they imitating a comic book artist, and it was like, wow. So I took it like Bruce Lee and just studied, bruh. But those are the 2 books. If it was a black book, I would probably want to do, I would say, something over at Milestone. I ain't even gonna pick a title. I would just say something over at Milestone, because there ain't no other. Oh no, nah. I gotta show you this. You want to know what I would want to draw? Philadelphia, bruh.
Philadelphia. Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna show you the artwork for it. I did artwork for it, so I don't want to act like I do a lot of talking and not show the work. This is the cover I showed Rodney Barnes, bro, and was like, yo, I wanna work for y'all. So I'm gonna show you that. And I wasn't gonna show the internet and post it, because in case it made it, so they could approve it and be like, well, it hasn't been leaked to the public. But honestly, I'm just like, bruh, if they want it, they want it. 20 pieces. Here it go, right here. So like I said, I would like to do Spawn.
Oh, that's dope. That's dope.
You know what I'm saying? Or Philadelphia, bruh. Yeah, or Darkness. I'd say I'd like to do something like, but my style of art, they have more of a painted style inside the books that isn't line work. I wouldn't say my shit would fit. You know what I'm saying? Like it would have to be like a side type project if I did a Philadelphia book, so that it doesn't stand out from the way the artwork is on the inside. Cover wise though, I could do a cover. You know what I'm saying?
Dope, yeah.
Let me go back though so we can see each other.
Yeah, that's dope. I got a couple stories, in my back pocket. I would write for Milestone. I definitely want to do Blood Syndicate, but like
that too, yeah.
With DC, man, I want to write DC villains. If I can write some DC villains, that'd be dope.
Like which ones?
I want to write Freeze, Mr. Freeze. I want to do uh, um, I can't think right now. I want the dark side, but like
Okay.
not involving him with Herb. Show him because they
Actually
had
just
this.
out there doing his thing.
Yeah, because he was a hero kind of with Justly Odyssey because he's really only looking for the equation. It just happened to be on Earth. So what happened? It's not on Earth. It's somewhere else, and he's really the protagonist.
Yeah, I
because
can dig that.
he has his own people to take care of. Like I love that concept. Like Magneto and Doctor Doom are one of my favorite characters because they're not really villains. They got their own people they're trying to take care of. Uh, just like Negan from Walking Dead. If you start reading a story with Negan instead of Rick, Rick would be the villain.
Yep.
So I
From
like
somebody
that
else's
whole.
perspective, yeah, man. From the villain's perspective, he's the hero. And it should
Yeah,
always be, it should feel like it. Like you should feel like you might want to root for the villain sometimes. Like, yeah, 100.
like Mr. Freeze. Like, is he really a villain? Like, he's just delusional.
He been through some
So
shit, bro. Like, yeah.
he's just delusional. Like he's really not doing bad thing. Like, what's the difference between what Bruce is doing and what Victor is doing? Like, what's the difference? Like,
Exactly.
Victor's really trying to get money or get whatever to help out this woman. So what's the difference? Like, he's just trying to help her out, and he can't help him out because he was basically shadow banned or shunned from the science community. So he like he's
He
really
can't
just
even
trying to
save
save
her and shit.
lives.
He just trying to
Yeah, he
save
trying
her,
to
yeah.
yeah save lives. So what's the difference? He ain't. I mean, just stuff like that.
It's like, yo, I just
Like
need to shut down the power grid for like, just,
yeah,
so I can turn my wife on, bro. Just let me shut down the power grid. Batman's like,
yeah,
no, I will not let
yeah,
you shut down the power grid. I'm just like, bruh, let his wife live. Like a villain. Yeah, I know what you're saying, bruh.
yeah. So like stuff like that. I would like write villains more with Marvel. Maybe X Men. I see good stuff with X Men. Maybe Blade. I do Blade. I'm digging the whole story with his daughter right now. Uh, but my key person I want to write for Marvel is Dazzler because I came from the music industry and
Okay,
writing a Dazzler story.
okay.
I'll write a Dazzler story like
You
easy.
know, I don't know if they created Jam. You remember that cartoon Jam? Have you
It,
ever?
it's
Are they
uh
like?
I I think Dazzler was first. I'm not sure.
But I just thought about that. I was just like, now I was thinking about it. Jam and her are like kind of the same. Like, kind of. Like, I don't know if you watched that cartoon. It was old as hell. I don't even remember it
I mean, I
barely.
never watched it.
I barely
It's kind
remember it, bruh.
yeah, but I think they're close, similar. It's kind of like a Deathstroke
Yeah, Deadpool.
and Deadpool type of thing. Yeah, but that's what's up, man. I mean, you've been a great guest and whatever. I know you say you don't push out books or stuff like that, but where can people get your books or be ready to get books when you put them out?
So what I'm trying to do, like last Kickstarter I had, I literally was like, if you don't get the book, you don't get the book. Like I was trying to play rough ball, but I was dead serious though at the same damn time though, because it's a lot to print. And I think that's why, like, I don't like when people say, oh, I couldn't get such and such as book, or they say Black didn't print as many books as they were supposed to, and the comic book stores got shorted. I'm like, bruh, that shit costs a lot of money on the back
Yeah,
end. Like before you even get it to the people, you're paying for it all, and it's like a couple thousand. So, like, as far as where you can get my book, you can't right now. Like, I'm gonna just be 100 unless you message me and say I want Brown Hornet, the Fallen #1, which I have printed up, and message me. You can get that one, but the other two that are about to drop as an issue, I'm sending as soon as I can get prints, which is probably in the like next month or two. I'm sending the first 100 or so to the Kickstarter backers, and then I got to get money again to print some more. You know what
you
I'm
do? Are you
saying?
do you do digital?
No, I don't do digital because I don't know. I value my work, man. And we see what happened with the AI stuff recently. And I was already on that mindset anyway. So when digital and AI happened, I kind of was just like, see, I just kind of never trusted it anyway. So, like, I know it's good for you to get your product out and people will see it and it will spread to more people. But until I sell these physical units, if I leak all this digital shit, nobody actually wants to buy the physical units. I got boxes at the house that I will still sit on as inventory. So, like, when it comes to physical product, I always get rid of most of the physical product before I do digital. And this book, this first one that was 88 pages, was so thick, I couldn't even create a PDF.
Dang.
Like, I couldn't even create a PDF small enough to give it to people digital. You know what I'm saying? So, like, it was like I had to open up, I did it for like a month. I had to open up like a web page where people could come view it. And then you can look at analytics of all that stuff. And like the time people take to do stuff, people just don't take time to do stuff. Nobody went to go even look, and it was free. You know what I'm saying? You hear creators say that a lot, like, it's free, and they didn't even go look. And then some people are going, yeah, because they don't like you. No, it's not even that sometimes. It's just people are lazy. If you're not, like, coming down the stream, they're not about to divert their time if that's not their interest to go look for you. So right now, I got, like, this book ready to print it, ready to go if people want to buy that. And I have the ones that I'm going to print for the Kickstarter. But right after that, I'm going to try to get it in comic book stores everywhere. The issue 1 and 2 that you saw on the screen. Like, that stuff that you saw on the screen, I'm trying to actually ship out to comic book stores. Like, I don't want to play the game anymore. Like, people already act like they don't know I exist when they're my friend on Facebook. Like, and they want to talk about all the comic books that exist. And they go, oh, look, all these books exist. And they, like, never list me. And I'm like, boy, I'll eat you up. Like, seriously, that's how I be feeling. I'm like, boy, I'll eat you up. Like, you got to be confident about your shit sometimes, because especially if people ain't going to gas you up, you got to gas yourself up. If nobody going to give you your flowers, you got to give yourself flowers, especially if other people are telling you you're dope anyway, too. Like, if that's that, you need to just move on with that and be great, bruh. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm playing hardball kind of because it's like I value my art. I'm not trying to hoe it out there.
It's understandable, man. I feel you, man. I feel you. But when you do drop a Kickstarter and put it out, be sure you have sent everybody your way.
I will. Y'all can find me on Instagram on Lewis Brown Hornet. Lewis Brown Hornet on Instagram. Facebook is Lewis Brown Hornet. I basically dropped everything as Lewis Brown Hornet, so nobody can say, who's this Brown Hornet guy anymore. So everything, all my titles and stuff, Lewis Brown Hornet. Why? Because it's part of my name. And yeah, I copyrighted that shit, so get real.
All right.
For all those haters, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, you can't do that. Shut up.
Yeah. Man, appreciate you bringing on, man. Enjoyed it, man.
Yeah, man. I appreciate talking to you too, and I appreciate the opportunity. I actually wanted to do your show because you just seem like a real brother that's out here that got love for comics. You know, I wanted to give you some big ups too for my little fan base, so they can come check you out too. You know what I'm saying? Because I got my own fan base. That's what we got to do. We got to, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got your own fan base. I got my own fan base. I want them to I like your shows. I think you try to branch out to other creators that aren't always in the spotlight. You know what I'm saying? And so I appreciate that, bro. You're a good dude.
I appreciate it, man. I try. But yeah,
all right,
man.
bro. All right.
Hey, stay.
What's up, y'all? It's a view. That interview was long. He too long starting up. But y'all check out Lewis Brown, because he has a Brown Hornet comic book series. Check him out. Great dude and whatnot. And look, I got a babysit and whatnot. But y'all check out my books too at legsoftheview.com. And be sure to follow me too. And follow Specs as well at Specs706. If you want to be on the show, hit us up at channelgreenbox.com. And we gone. Say bye.